Check coming through.
Yep.
All right. All right, bud. Whatever you're ready, we're rolling. What do you got for me?
All right, man. Well, today we will be drinking.
Oh, you're dropping right into the beer already?
Might as well, dude. Let's get right into it. It's been a while.
So yeah, I know, dude. I haven't seen you in like a month.
No, you saw me like 2 weeks ago.
No, I didn't.
Wasn't
I saw Phil 2 weeks ago.
No, we recorded.
I saw Phil 3 weeks ago.
You saw me 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because then we recorded and we didn't see me last week.
Yes, you're right.
But it feels like forever.
It does feel like forever, dude.
So, but today we got some Vallejo. Well, no, it's Vallejo. No, it's California, man.
All right, man. All right.
From Half Acre here in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Half Acre's been around since 2007.
Mm.
They originally brewed in Black River Falls, Wisconsin for a handful of Chicago bars and shops. In 2008, they switched over to Lincoln Avenue to have their brewery there with their main staple, which is Daisy Cutter, which is really good. Growth and lessons came fast. They opened a retail shop, a tap room, and where it was dynamic developed between their brewers and local beer culture. 2013, they purchased another place for a regional brewery, and they employ over 100 humans in the Balmoral Production Brewery, which is also home to their tap room, beer garden, and shop. And a little bit about this beer specifically, it's a summer seasonal IPA, 6.7% alcohol by volume, and yeah, it sounds pretty good. Beers, coastlines, condensation bleeding down from the can, water washing over the rocks.
I figured you'd like this one.
You know, I am a fan of IPAs every now and then. It just depends on...
Yeah.
All right, this one smells pretty good. This one has...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't have that, like, when you smell it and you're like...
No, this smells like... Oh, man, we gotta let these beers sit in the fridge for more than a week now.
Yeah, I know.
Smelling pretty good. And, I mean, my sense of smell is horrible. You know this. But it does smell really good. I like their the actual Half Acre logo.
Yeah, me too.
The owl with the tentacles on the bottom.
Yeah, it's like a octa owl. Octowl. Owlpuss.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna let the foam come down a little bit.
Yeah, me too. I got a lot of head, no pun intended. Well, I got a little bit in the can. I'm gonna try it.
So do I, but I wanted to let it air out a little bit.
Well, it's gonna air out in the. Oh, cheers. Well, whatever.
Well, cheers to glasses.
Foamy. Good though.
Definitely has that IPA taste.
Yeah.
But not harsh.
No, definitely not harsh.
My throat doesn't feel dry as a bone after most IPAs that I have.
I could definitely drink 3 of these at the bar.
I would only do 2. With it being 6.7.
Well, yeah, 2 or 3.
I would only do 2 because then I'd be like, all right, I'm not driving home.
Yeah. It's definitely tasty. The taste is strong. It comes through.
Yeah. I think they hit it spot on with it being a summer beer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. That definitely quench your thirst.
Like,
if you're out there mowing the lawn, killing rabbits or whatever we do.
or just grilling in the backyard, having people over.
Hunting down rabbits with the lawnmower or fucking ritual sacrifice in the fire pit.
All right, dude, that was not my fault.
I know. Dude, right. I went over some bunnies with the lawnmower, dude, and it was not my fault. Before I knew it, I was like, what is going on down there?
Well, all right, the fact that those bunnies built a home in my fire pit
is not your fault.
Is not my fault.
Yeah, just okay. Like they burrowed under my lawn.
All right. When we saved most of them.
Yeah, we did. After we heard the painful screams.
After the screeching and looking down and seeing things running in and out of flames.
Dude, I know. Me and Dan were looking around this like, oh my God, are there ambulances going by?
I know. And then I looked down and I'm like, and then the one wouldn't get out.
Yeah, cheers.
I remember that. The one just ran back into the flames. Cheers.
Oh, yeah, that crazy one that wouldn't let you get him?
Yeah.
That's the thing, bro. They don't want to let you. They don't want to be touched. They think Mama will.
Well, you can't touch them when they're babies.
I heard that's not true. That Mama will still care for them.
Well, I wouldn't take the chance.
True.
You know.
But Mama.
But my snow shovel did perfect as far as flicking them out to safety.
It's a good word, flick, because you could have used tossed. It was like, whoa,
well, I had
all
to
the way to the auto zone.
Well, I had to hurry up, man. Like,
yeah, it was an instinctive thing,
and it was a big fire.
Yeah,
it's not like it was a little fire that just started.
Oh yeah,
it was going for quite a bit.
It was definitely induced with some additive.
Yes, which was crazy that it took that long for them to like be like, "Wow, it's hot now."
Right.
For thinking like, man, this has been going for quite a bit.
Yeah, the thing is, we put timber in there too, and they were like not moving. We didn't see any movement before then, which is crazy.
And I think we even put more.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We grabbed some from the side of your garage, threw it in. We might have crushed some of them. Man, we're fucking killers, dude.
It's not our fault. We didn't know they were there.
That's true.
If we knew they were there, we wouldn't have done that. It's not like I was like, oh, I feel like burning some rabbits.
Yeah. Some rascally rabbits.
Oh.
We would have done Elmer Fudd proud, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, back to the beer. Yes. Smooth, has that distinct IPA taste without drying out your mouth.
It's got that hazy color too.
A little haze, a little citrus.
Yeah.
And it's just smooth, man. I don't know about the white grape jelly part. I can tell the underripe peach that it's talking about.
I think the white grape is when it's actually when you swish it like in your mouth when you're actually trying to, take a sip before you wash it down. You get that aftertaste with the peach that you're talking about.
I could definitely tell the peach.
Yeah,
peach I could definitely taste. Yeah. I don't know about. I never had white grape jelly. I don't know. I've had grape jelly. Yeah. I don't like grape jelly, but I've never had.
Aren't the white grapes like the greener ones?
Like green grapes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I never had that as jelly.
I don't think I've had either, but I would imagine they're going off that white grape taste, And I could definitely taste that a little bit.
Yeah. I taste more of the peach, though, at least for me.
It's not like...
But it doesn't taste like peaches.
Right, no.
It just has like... you could be like, oh, it tastes a little bit like a peach.
I like that it's not like yeasty, though.
Yeah, that too.
It's like a nice change from... Like, not to say I don't like the other ones, like the champagne beer.
Oh, no, but it's a nice change of pace to something, different.
Right.
And with it being summer, dude, we're going to have... I mean, we're going to have a
summer officially
plethora.
Kick off? I thought it was next month.
No, but I'm talking about as far as the beers rotation.
Yeah.
It's going to be more of that,
the summer
beers, kind of beers,
Get your Blue Moon ready. Get your
Did you see that now that we were talking about it, they brought out a higher alcohol content Blue Moon?
No.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
They brought out another one. I forgot what it was called, but it's like 8% now.
It's called Red Blue Moon. Werewolf Blue Moon. Something like I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot what it was called, but it was they have a new one that's 8%. Because they have a light one, and then I think they just added...
Well, it's a good change because every company was trying to bring out their zero alcohol, which still has a small volume, like you said before, you mentioned, but it's like, man, kick it up a notch. Sometimes I want to get fucked up and go to bed right away.
Oh, it's called Blue Moon Extra.
We'll talk about that some other time.
Then they have citrus wheat, non-alcoholic, and mango wheat.
Non-alcoholic.
I've only had Blue Moon once, and I just wasn't a fan.
It's all right. I've had it, quite a few times. It is a nice summer citrusy beer kind of thing.
Well, I did say this is a good summery beer.
Excuse me.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised with this one, and I love the can too.
The can is pretty much what drew me in, and I was like, it's a 6.5. But it looks like we might enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think they had some citrusy beers too. You mentioned, right, too? Yeah, they did.
Half Acre?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to grab one of those, but I was like, nah. We got to start off with the
well, they have, let's see, they're seasonal ones. They have a sunrise version of this, which is more of a sweet melon, berry, and dried pine. which I don't know about that.
Because of the dried pine thing?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Then they have a winter one, and then they have this one called Reef Nut, which is a summer lager. And that one is squeaky clean, cracker, crisp lager, minimal bitterness, and moderate 4.5 alcohol by volume.
Minimal bitterness.
That one looks pretty cool. Look, it kind of reminds me of like something that would be on SpongeBob. And then they have, what is this one? Oh, that's an Oktoberfest. But then they have, Daisy Cutter. All right, I like Daisy Cutter on tap.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like it in a can.
Yeah.
There's something about it in the can. It tastes way different than it does on tap. If I find it on tap, I order it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not the biggest. I don't know. There's just some beers that are better one way than the other.
Yeah.
You know, and that one for me in particular, it's always been better on tap than in a can.
It's like Anheuser-Busch, man. Sometimes you get it in that Bud Light bottle. Sometimes you get it in the Busch bottle. Sometimes you get it in the Michelob Ultra bottle.
Did you see? Speaking of Anheuser-Busch, the huge accident that was on I-55 the other day?
No.
One of their beer trucks flipped over.
Oh my god!
And there was just tons of Anheuser-Busch products down 55, like exploded.
Were people like rushing down?
No, it was all broken.
Oh, not all of it, I bet you.
Well, no, but still, I mean the truck like flipped over and took out like 3-4 light poles. So yeah, it was.
Casualties?
I don't think so. It was just the trailer. It was just the trailer.
Yeah.
So I think they might have gotten cut off or something, and when he moved, the trailer tipped over.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was tons of beer in the shoulder. And the only reason I knew what happened is because I had to go on 55 and I had to take a detour, and then I saw the disaster that was there.
I avoid 55, dude.
Yeah, but I had to go to Hinsdale.
Yeah.
So it's easier just to jump on 55.
Oh, for sure. I mean, last time I was on 55 was when I went with you to the airport. So.
And that wasn't bad, dude.
No, I know that.
We got down there quick.
Yeah, actually, I was expecting a lot more traffic north of like Harlem,
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't that much. So that was.
Dude,
that
was
too bad.
that was like prime time.
Yeah.
To go. I don't know, and that was weird because I'm like, all right, at that time, I'm like, it's gonna be close,
Mm-hmm.
and no,
No.
and dude, literally, when I got into the airport, there was one person in front of me at TSA.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you lucked out all over the place.
Yeah. So I walked in, and I was there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, there you go," and I didn't have to take anything out of my bag. I thought I was like, all right, I was pulling out my computer and everything,
Yeah.
and they're like, no, just leave everything in it.
Well, it's domestic, so.
Well, it depends.
Aren't they more lenient when it's
No,
domestic?
every airport's different, dude.
Hmm.
Like when Colleen flies, because she has like 2 or 3 laptops and iPads and stuff.
Yeah.
She has to put each one in a single. Like some airports, she has to put them all in single box or baskets.
Yeah.
To go through, and in other places they're like, no, just leave the stuff in the bag.
I always throw like all my shit that's like clothes, watch, all that shit in one.
Mm-hmm.
And then like any electronics in another one.
Well,
and
yeah.
They usually ask you like, do you have any game consoles or laptops, tablets, whatever? And I'm like, yes. Do you want me to pull it out? They're like, no.
Well, when I was it was here, I didn't have to do it, but in Nebraska, I had to do it.
Yeah.
They made me take out everything, and actually, dude, I lucked out in Nebraska too.
Like, we don't trust you, Chicago.
I had to change my flight because I had to stay later because, dude.
Yeah.
We got slammed. There should have been probably like 6 of us on this job.
Right.
And it was me and one other guy.
Yeah.
Moving 70,000 pounds of steel.
I hate when that happens, dude.
And
having to move 6,000 pounds of steel.
And then we had to train everybody on how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So when we finished up our job, I'm like, well, dude, I'll just change my flight so I can stay later. Help you.
You guys didn't use any like mobile equipment, like skid steer or something.
We had to take it all off of pallets and load it onto trailers.
Yeah, but did you do it by hand? Like everything was by hand.
Yeah.
Dude, skiddies, bro, is where it's at.
It wouldn't have worked. It would actually have been twice as long.
Forklift, forks on it.
No, it would have taken twice as long for what we were doing.
Nah, dude.
But anyway.
You didn't have me on set.
Okay. All right. Hey man, I asked you if you wanted to come work with us.
You asked me if I wanted to come work with you guys. You didn't say for this job, and I told you only on weekends.
Well, that's not reality, dude.
I know.
But then so I changed my flight, and we were running kind of late to the airport.
Yeah.
Like I was cutting it close. Luckily, the weather was bad here, so
For the
my
way
flight,
back. Yeah.
so my flight got delayed a little bit.
Of course.
But so we get to the airport. In Omaha, airport's under construction, so it's just a mess to get anywhere.
Oh, so they're just like Chicago.
Yeah. So, dude, we're walking, and I'm like, man, we're walking through this airport. Like, there was no security checks, like, through the majority of the airport. And then it was like, there's TSA, and there's the gate.
Mm.
And I was like, whoa, man, this is really close.
Yeah.
So as soon as I was done...
Is it a big airport or small?
No, it's small.
Okay.
But it's still an international terminal.
So you're
but
probably one of their only fly-throughs in the day.
But, like, I get there, and it's like, I go through security, and then literally my gate... So if TSA was at the beginning of this table, my gate was like the TV. So as soon as I crossed over, my gate was right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, this works.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the pilot was thinking. He like gunned it, and we made it home like 40 minutes earlier than we were supposed to.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
sometimes they catch good wind too.
yeah.
You know?
Well, dude, on the way there, we're flying, and then to the north of us, so like,
maybe on the way there,
Well,
a couple of seagulls.
no, dude, on the way there was going on to the north of our flight path.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was tornadoes and lightning storms.
Yeah.
So it looked like we were looking down at a war zone because all the lightning would go across the sky, and while it was going on, you could see the funnel clouds going across.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was so scary.
That reminds me of that one scene in Major League when they're like, you know how they have to fly, and like the lady, she's trying to like, oh, we're pampering them, so they go in that shitty plane, and they're flying. It's like a thunderstorm outside. They're like, I wonder how the pilot's flying through. It's like, I wonder if there's a pilot.
Yeah, dude, it was something else. And then we landed. The guy was like, all right, we're coming in fast and we're coming in hard. And
Yeah.
dude, it was like landing on an aircraft carrier in Top Gun.
Do you ever fly on like 4th of July?
No.
That's fucking something, dude. I'll tell you, I did one time, and you see the fireworks all over. Obviously, you're looking at them from top down,
Yeah.
so you get to see, if you got a window seat, obviously, you get to see the other side of that coin. It's pretty cool. It's not like, it depends where you're flying, obviously, because some places you might be like, it's fucking dead here. But I forgot where we were flying from. It might have been from Mexico, so we were flying over like Texas and shit. So it was pretty cool. It's a good time, man. I like flying solo though. Solo's nice.
Oh yeah, dude. I was loving the fact that I was flying by myself.
Yeah.
I walked in, did my thing, sat there. I'm like, all right, get in my seat,
Yeah.
and just space out.
Yeah. It's a whole different bag when you're like with somebody and then you have to wait for them or they have to wait for you. And
Yeah.
sometimes you
Oh,
have to
dude.
carry all their bags and shit.
Did I told you what happened to me when we went to San Antonio, right?
I think so. Remind us, Kyle.
So we're flying home from San Antonio, and it's in December, like 3 years ago, and we walk on. We paid for our seats, so we paid for specific seats.
Right.
And we're walking into our seats, and I look, and there's two people sitting in our seats, and I'm like, oh hey, these are our seats.
Right.
And they're like, oh well, we were told to move. And I'm like, well, that's nice that you were told to move. I paid for these two specific seats.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we have nowhere else to go. I'm like, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
I paid for these two
You
specific
reserved
seats.
those 2 seats, yeah.
So then the flight attendant comes up. She goes, what's the problem? I'm like, well, I paid for those 2 seats.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I needed them to move. I'm like, well, I don't care. Like, I paid for them. It's not like I'm just wanting those two. I'm like, we specifically paid for those 2 seats.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, I'm sorry. We loaded. We had.
They oversold the flight.
Well, they oversold the flight, but what also happened is that the Texas government put a whole bunch of refugees on that plane.
Oh.
And they just threw them on the plane.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we can't move this one lady because she has an infant and a toddler. I'm like, well, I don't care about that. I just care about these 2 seats because we paid for them.
Yeah.
I'm like, these people should be the ones to move, not me. I didn't. It's not my problem that this happened, but I paid for these 2 specific seats.
Yeah.
Going back and forth, and I'm like, you know what? Fine, forget it, whatever. Colleen sat couple rows down. I just sat in this seat. So I'm sitting in the seat. I'm sitting next to this refugee woman who has a newborn and then her toddler. And I'm just sitting there. And now I'm pissed because I paid for this, and these people are inconveniencing me.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm sitting there, and then next thing I know, the woman is holding her kid, and her kid's head rests right on my shoulder, like right in here. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, all right, it's not the kid's fault. The kid's comfortable, the kid's sleeping. I don't care. I'm just gonna whatever. I'm just gonna deal with it. So I'm in the aisle seat, and I'm just sitting, looking straight down the aisle with just like this pissed off look in my face, right? Because I'm just mad because I'm like, this is a big inconvenience for me.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there, just staring off, and then the drink cart comes by.
Smacks you in the shin.
No. She comes by. She's like, "Oh, would you like something to drink?" Oh, I'm like, "Yeah, I'll have whatever." So I'm just drinking that, sitting there, and I'm just staring down the aisle. That's all I'm doing. And then we land, and all the refugees that were in the back of the plane fucking ran off the front of the plane. Like, didn't wait for anybody to, like how you're supposed to. They just fucking took off. Like, we need to get out into Chicago and run.
That's not just them, though. Everybody does that.
No, but it was literally the only group that was back there, and they took off like they stole something.
I'll tell you, I've been on many flights, and everybody does that. They get up and they bum rush the door.
So now I'm up, we're out of the plane, and I'm walking away, and Colleen comes up to me. She goes, "Hey, are you okay?" Well, and I'm like, "Yeah, why? What's going on?" She's like, "Well, when the flight attendant was passing out drinks, she wanted me to come and check on you to make sure you were okay." And I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I didn't do anything." I was just sitting, just looking down the aisle.
Do you have that Kyle Rittenhouse?
No. She goes, "Well, she wanted to know if you were uncomfortable because the woman next to me was breastfeeding and she fell asleep and her tits were just hanging out the whole flight."
Oh.
Didn't even know because I wasn't even looking this way.
Was she good looking, Kyle?
No.
Okay.
I saw her face when I said no. But I'm just like looking down. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, "Yeah, I guess her tits were out the whole time, the whole flight." You didn't even notice? And and then I'm like, I didn't even look to my right because I was so pissed off that we had to switch seats and that this kid's head was on my arm the whole flight. So then my arm fell asleep and I just didn't move. I literally sat like this from San Antonio to O'Hare.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, she had her.
They did that shit to my brother, bro. When was it? Yeah, this Christmas when we flew back. Yeah, they did that shit to him. So him and like my sister-in-law and the two daughters were like fucking. They got pretty much separated. They almost missed their flight, and they're like, "We have reservations. What the fuck do you mean you have no seats?" "Well, we sold your seats." And it's like, why?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point? It's like that Jerry Seinfeld joke. It's like, that's the whole point of the reservation, to reserve the fucking spot or the car, whatever you're reserving. You're supposed to hold it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because it's a 90s joke, and now you see it, and it's just like, oh my God, they do that.
Or when they oversell a flight.
Yeah.
Like, how do you oversell when you know how many seats are in a plane?
Well, they oversell. The way it was explained to me is they oversell it because they don't want to miss out on, like, seats. Having empty seats at the end. I'm like, it's not a fucking wedding where, like, 50% of the guests aren't going to show up. It's like, these people paid for a flight. If they don't show up, you're still getting paid. What the fuck is the point of overselling it? If anything, then you could fit more people. Like, hey, these seats opened up, But you don't do it, like, in advance. That's just, to me, that's just fucking malicious, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But,
or when they ask you, like, "Oh, would you mind going standby? Because we have too many people on the plane."
Like, no.
Or like,
I'd be like, "Are you gonna upgrade me to first class or something?"
Yeah.
Sometimes
nice.
They'll do that. They'll upgrade you or whatever.
I remember the one when one of the times I flew to Vegas, they were like, "Oh, well, we have a full plane, so we need to let out some fuel because we're too heavy." And then halfway in the air, "Oh man, we're gonna run out of fuel, so we need to stop in Oklahoma City." It's like,
would you fly Spirit?
No, it was Southwest.
When I flew to Vegas, we took Spirit. And
No, I took Spirit to fly to Los Angeles.
Dude, how bad are those planes?
Dude.
I was on a window seat at the back, and I was literally like this, dude. Like the fucking plane was ovaling like right where I was. I was like, what are these seats for? I'm like, I'm 5'7", dude. Like, are they for Troy Byrne or something? What the hell's going on here? Yeah, so I had to do that and kind of get into a weird position to fucking read my book. Because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to fall asleep like this.
Yeah, we only flew Spirit to go to Los Angeles because one of Colleen's friends was a flight attendant.
Yeah.
And we got free tickets to go.
Well, that's nice.
So, like, she used her friends and family passes or whatever. Mm-hmm. But we were flying standby, so we just had to show up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you guys can come."
Yeah.
But then we flew. Was it JetBlue when we went to Boston? Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, that pilot fucking gunned it, and we got to Boston an hour earlier than we were supposed to. But the cool thing is when we flew over Canada.
Wait, Boston's not even that far away. You got there in like what, 30 minutes?
No, it was a 3-hour flight. We got there in 2.
It's a 3-hour flight from here to Boston?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem that right.
But it's crazy. You have to fly into the ocean and back to land in their airport.
That's weird.
Like you fly over it and then come back around
I
over
think it's
water.
The same way at LAX, isn't it? I
don't know.
I flew out there one time and they flew over the ocean.
The only thing I remember about LAX is that was so gross. Yeah. That was the worst part about it is when I landed in LA and I couldn't wait to leave LA.
Oh, we landed. We didn't even get out of the plane. It was just like connecting. So they're like, yeah, but you're connecting, but you're not. You don't have to get off the plane. It was one of those deals.
Yeah. Well, we flew into LA to drive to San Diego.
Yeah. So when I flew to LA, I was like, yeah, I've been to LA. Yeah, where'd you go? The airport.
Yeah.
I never left the airport.
I stepped out of the airport, jumped in a car, and drove out of there as fast as we could. It was so gross, dude. Just right there. Like
I don't doubt there's nice parts in California.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, but
like San Diego. Oh, dude. San Diego is awesome. La Jolla. La Jolla. Yeah. La Jolla is awesome,
Montecito.
Dude. Like it's a cool like surfer town.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. And it's in between San Diego and LA.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
dude.
is it just LA that's fucking like a dumpster fire, pretty much?
LA, San Francisco.
Yeah.
Probably Oakland. Yeah, Oakland too.
Go Raiders, not anymore.
Nope. But no, La Jolla was awesome, dude. I when we were there, I didn't want to leave there. Yeah. Like I looked at real estate just for fun. Yeah. Because I'm like, I knew that's not possible. Yeah. But a house that was smaller than my yard.
Yeah.
Was $600,000. It was.
Well, your yard's pretty big though.
But it was but I'm talking about it was like a 400 square foot house. It was like $600,000. It was.
That's like your garage, you mean?
Yeah, okay. It was the size of my garage.
Okay.
It was almost it was $750,000.
Jeez. Yeah.
But beautiful area, dude.
Yeah.
And San Diego is awesome.
Like places I would just visit but never want to live there would probably be like that, New York.
New York sucked.
Yeah.
I hated New York.
Like I would go like touristy type. Like I'd be like, oh yeah, let's go to what's it called? Times Square and do all the cool shit that what everybody said, like oh, you got to do the attractions basically.
Here's the thing, dude. At least from my point of view, when I was there, too much traffic.
Oh, of course.
And it fucking smells.
I bet.
Because all the garbage is just fucking sitting on the street. Like it was so disgusting.
It's like the 1900s.
Yeah, pretty much. And they think they have the best pizza.
Early 1900s.
That pizza was shit. We went to the best pizza place in Staten Island, Pizza Hut.
The funny thing is, you don't even defend deep dish. You're just like, nah, their pizza's just shit.
Yeah, their pizza was shit.
Because everybody shits on deep dish, dude. But right, they act like we only do deep dish. No, others.
No, deep dish is an acquired taste.
I love it.
But it's an occasion.
Yeah,
it's not an all the time thing.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, let's order a pie and you get that. No, you get sometimes you get that like thin crust, and you're feeling.
Well, I'll always get thin crust over.
Sometimes you gotta get deep dish, bro. Want to do a food challenge again?
No, well, I'll do a food challenge again, but minus drinking.
Yeah, that's what killed you, right?
That was the only thing. Like the food was fine. It was if we only did 2 beers instead of the 3, I would have been fine. There was just so much gas that built up, I couldn't do it. There was just
That's why I left them for the end, brother.
so did I, but it was just too much. I'm like, God, if I burp, like how you almost threw up,
Yeah.
like that's how it was. Like I just had a huge gas bubble, and I'm like, oh my God, this won't come out.
Yeah, I was telling Phil about that. I was like, oh, yeah, man, we did that food challenge.
Because I mean, I killed the food,
Yeah.
but then it was just like,
I think you got done with the food before me.
yeah, I was done with the food.
And then the beer just fucking smashed you.
Well, it's because it was just, I think it was, I felt like we probably should have poured it
Yeah,
instead of drinking from the bottle. Maybe that would have helped a little bit, like having some of the carbonation out of it,
Yeah.
you
Let it
know,
breathe a little bit.
and just have it sit in glasses.
Yeah.
Maybe would have helped, and the fact that it was like ice cold,
That was fucking cool.
you know, so maybe like if we would have tweaked it a little bit and had it a little bit warmer,
Yeah.
you know, instead of when you have your teeth feel like they're gonna fall out because it was so cold. But
That was fun, though. I mean, I felt like shit afterwards, but I felt like I wanted to do a couple laps around the block walking, dude, just to like.
yeah, I did
Okay.
want to leave for a little bit
Yeah.
and go walking around and
just
come
like,
back.
I gotta walk this off, man. You
Yeah,
know?
because I felt like I couldn't move.
But back to New York. You know, it's always funny in the movies how aliens always want to attack New York.
Yeah, because they're like, this place is a shithole.
It's like, where's there a lot of people that need to fucking go? Oh, New York. Sorry, New Yorkers.
The only thing I liked about New York,
I bet the sights are pretty cool, though.
all right, the one thing I liked about it,
You're gonna have to pop out another one for your old body wand, Joe.
Yeah. I did. All right, I didn't like it, but it was nice. Was the 9/11 memorial?
Okay.
I'm not trying to say that I liked it because that's a terrible way to say it.
I mean, you could say you like the memorial.
Well,
you didn't have to like the event.
I liked
That
how
caused it.
it was.
You like how they were commemorated.
Yes, the way that it was done was very nice and beautiful.
Is that the horse statue one?
No, the big empty the fountain that
Okay.
just keeps
Okay.
going down, and then there's the museum.
Because
and
didn't they
everything
put
there.
the horseman statue from the 12 Strong?
I don't know.
I just saw the movie 12 Strong not too long ago.
Okay.
The one with Hemsworth
Yeah.
and fucking Michael Shannon, fucking who's way underrated. Like that dude deserves way more recognition, dude. It's fucking General Zod, bitch. But anyway, I saw it. I hadn't seen it. I was like, man, I haven't seen these. I saw clips on the talk and the tube and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, I need to watch this. So I was like, I'm gonna download it. It was on Prime. I watched it. I was like, this is a fucking baller movie.
Yeah, it was.
And it was, kicked off by the 9/11 attack.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, it shows that they have, a statue commemorating the horse, because they attacked on horses, like with the General Dostrom or whatever. That was one of the guys that was against the Iraqis,
Yeah.
or not the. I don't want to. Shouldn't say the Iraq. I guess the Taliban. And they attacked on horses.
Oh, it's in Liberty Park.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's overlooking the memorial in New York City.
Okay.
I didn't see that. Oh no, I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that there.
That was a fucking baller movie, dude.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That one and 13 Hours, dude. Oh my god, dude.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think what I just watched. What did I just watch?
I'll tell you what I just got.
Oh, I just watched. I just finished Daredevil.
I haven't started that.
It's different.
Okay.
It sets it up to have another season.
Well, they're gonna do a Punisher too.
Well, it sets it up for a Punisher,
Right.
but I mean, it feels like there needs to be more.
Season 2 of Daredevil. I'm sure they're gonna try to keep it going, because they are trying to incorporate. I think they're trying to incorporate at least Daredevil, probably the Punisher 2, into like the MCU.
Well, they did. It was. Well, I mean, I could tell you it's not giving anything away, but they bring up Miss Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
and they're talking. Somebody's talking to Daredevil about Miss Marvel, and he goes, "Who's that?"
Yeah.
And they had a figurine, and they showed him like, "Oh, this figurine," and they didn't know he was blind.
Oh,
He's just like,
I just picked up on it. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, he is fucking blind.
and he's just like, "Oh, okay."
Cool, man. Kind of like when they blow Stevie Wonder kisses, like, oh man, I love you, and he's just like, what's
Yep.
going on?
But no, it was good. The first couple episodes are really, really slow because it's him like not wanting to be Daredevil again,
Yeah,
and like he's like trying really hard to not do it and try to be like a normal person.
he did have that moment in the comics too. Kind of
Yeah.
like they did the Spider-Man No More
Yeah,
thing.
but it's like, but that's like the first like 3 or 4 episodes,
Yeah,
and there's all this other shit going on, and you're just
Being
like,
mayor, right, or whatever.
and you're just like, all right, dude, come on, just go do it already.
Yeah.
Just come
You
on.
need to be
Like
Daredevil.
you're wanting this action to happen,
Yeah,
and it's not.
yeah. Is what's her name? Deborah Ann Wall still like trying to steal scenes and shit all the time? The
No.
chick, Karen, whatever, the redhead from True Blood, or
Oh no.
Yeah.
She's only in like the first episode.
Yeah.
She's
Like,
very,
nothing against her, but I'm like, dude, she stole like way too many scenes.
yeah,
in,
no,
in,
she's
like the Disney or
she's
the
barely
Netflix one.
she's barely in it.
I was not a fan of her. It was just like, it felt like they were doing the Kristen Krug and Smallville thing, where it's like, oh, she's like she's almost a main character. It's like, dude, what? I thought I was watching a Superman show.
No,
not
she's
a Lana Lang show.
barely in the show.
Okay, like I said, nothing against her. She's a good actress and all, but I'm like, dude, I want to see Daredevil beating dudes up in a fucking hallway and fucking shoving his batons up at their asses and shit.
No, the first episode, awesome fight scene,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes,
Bullseye back, right?
Yeah.
Spoilers, dude. Thanks.
yeah, and way better than the Colin Farrell version.
Well, he was in the last season of Daredevil, the
No, I know.
Netflix one.
But like this guy was. There's a really good fight scene.
You know what movie I just saw with Colin Farrell? It's an old movie. It's got Anthony Hopkins, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Soulless. That was a good movie, dude. And last night I finished watching Six Souls, which is also an older movie with my hot baby mama, Julianne Moore. I don't know why, dude. I think she's an attractive lady. I gotta give it to her.
Yeah,
You know?
not bad.
Natural redhead. Yeah, that's like an extra 2 points. Just like, because it's that dark red too. It's not like that orange.
Yeah, you got since we're talking about like those kind of movies and stuff, you got to check out Lioness, the show,
Yeah,
the Tyler Sheridan show.
Yeah, I want to.
It's good, dude.
The thing is, I'm not a big fan of Zoe Saldana, dude.
She does a good. It's.
I
good.
don't hate her, but I'm not like. She doesn't draw me in to like watch the show. Like, I don't want to say Pedro Pascal drew me in to watch The Last of Us because I played the game, so I was like, I want to see what they do with the show.
Yeah.
But like, if I hadn't played the games, I'd be like, oh, Pedro Pascal's in it. I don't care about his fucking politics. I just want to watch the show, man.
Yeah.
You know.
No, but she does. Her role is really good in the show,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole cast is really good.
Yeah.
Like, did you see? You saw Landman.
Yes.
The one dude that's Billy Bob Thornton's partner that lives in the house that got
The
beat up.
lawyer
The one
or
that got
the-
beat up by his daughter.
Okay. Yeah.
That guy, he's-
the engineer.
Yeah, he plays like a CIA operative in
Okay.
Lioness, and he has a really good role in the show.
Cool.
And then there's just a couple other dudes that are in there that are really cool. Like it's a really good show.
Speaking of Taylor Sheridan, he was in 12 Strong. He was the CIA agent. I was like, I know that dude. I was trying to remember his fucking name. I was like, that's fucking Tyler Sheridan.
Yeah.
And he's always gonna be a smart ass and fucking like, you're never gonna get one up on me. I'm Tyler Sheridan. I killed John Dutton. Fuck with my production, will ya?
John Dutton killed himself.
We all know Tyler Sheridan killed John Dutton. But yeah, dude. I was gonna tell you, dude. Totally oversaw. We always talk about movies. I found, like I'd seen before, like the whole Terminator series collection, like movies for like, $30 or whatever. I was like, man, I should get those. But I'm like, nah. I only like the second one. Second, well, the first one was good too, but the second was like a fucking classic, dude.
Was the third one when the chick Terminator came into it?
Yeah,
That one wasn't too bad.
it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
No.
I mean, anytime you think about Terminator, my mind goes to T2, man. Judgment Day, and there's no villain more terrifying than the fucking T-1000, dude.
Yeah.
You know Robert Patrick, the cop, for the scene where he's chasing John Connor in the mini bike. Do you know about this?
Mm-mm.
He was in such good shape, and he practiced that scene. And I think his breathing was so well controlled that every time they did that, he would catch up to the mini bike. So they're like, "You need to slow down." It's fucking wild, dude. A mini bike. He was running like fucking 40 miles an hour, just sprinting like a fucking robot because he was supposed to be a robot.
Exactly.
But yeah, dude, I just got it. I was like, oh, I gotta watch this. I was telling Allison, I'm like, baby girl, when you're old enough, we're gonna watch this because this is one of the fucking best movies ever made. Fuck Titanic. Fuck Avatar. James Cameron's best work. T2.
I just think it's crazy how the writer was able to tie that it's the same universe as The Matrix.
Yeah.
That was one thing that got me. I was like, wow.
It's allegedly supposed to be.
Well, she said it was.
Did she confirmed 100%?
It was in an interview. Yeah.
The chick that used to be one of the Wachowski brothers or whatever.
The one who wrote it and sold it to them.
Oh, okay. Because like one of the Wachowski or what are they're those dudes that did the Matrix. One of
Yeah, but the actual writer.
Yeah.
Who sold the rights to them, like told them like, yeah, these are both. It's the same universe.
Timeline kind of deal. So, the Matrix was developed by Skynet. Is that what you're telling me?
Sure.
That's wild.
Yeah, I watched the interview. It was actually really cool.
That's like, did you ever hear the theory of Steve Buscemi's character from Billy Madison going over into Con Air into Big Lebowski?
Yep.
That one's fucking wild. I'm like, okay, you're stretching a little bit, but I could see it. And it does make sense. So, for listeners who don't know, Steve Buscemi starts out as one of the guys that was bullied by Billy Madison, in the Adam Sandler movie, and they only show him when he calls him to apologize, and he takes Billy Madison's name off his hit list, and at the end when he comes in to shoot the bad guy, the director of the company that his dad ran or whatever. So then from there, they move on. Like he got in prison for committing other crimes, all those other murders on his hit list. He ends up in the Con Air universe or whatever movie is Garland Green, and they're transporting him. And if you saw Con Air, at the end he gets away. He's in Vegas and he's trying to live a normal life. And then you see him in the Big Lebowski, and I think his name is Eddie.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and they say like if you look at the bowling shirts, they all have different names. Like he's still killing people, taking their bowling shirts. And they're all different colors. So it's like, dude, where the fuck are you getting all these shirts? Either you're going through a thrift shop or some more sinister is going on there, Mr. Buscemi. Yeah, but that was a pretty wild theory. I was like, oh, it's pretty out there, but I still liked it.
No, that was good. I watched the video on that and I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Right, it connects. Like, things are going to be there if you want them to be there, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was... What was I listening to? It was on a Rogan podcast about like how things don't exist if you don't see them. So basically, like we can't see the what you would call the lobby, the first floor of my house, right? So right now, in your head, in your universe, in my universe, because we're down here, it doesn't exist. We're in this bubble right now, and it'll happen every time. And I connected it to this one thing where they made a video game a while back. It's called No Man's Sky, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
Where it was like they created a universe that as you went on exploring it, it started to develop and appear. So it's fucking wild, dude. And there's a theory that that's what's happening in, like, I don't know, they're like, oh, we're in a simulation or whatnot. You know, all that crazy stuff.
Like I've said before, if we're in a simulation, please deposit money into my bank account.
Dude, just fucking download some hacks. You
What
know?
is the cheat?
Jailbreak my
What is
character.
what is the cheat code? Is it up, down, left, right, left, right?
It's called robbing a bank, son.
Yeah, just throw a couple mil in there, and I'll be happy with that cheat code.
I want Elon Musk's player to use my character too.
Yeah, just for a day.
Yeah.
Just for a day to make some money, so I can be like,
That
oh,
kid stole his dad's credit card.
yeah. He is buying V-Bucks, and like, oh,
Yeah. He's got all them Roadblocks cards unlocked.
exactly.
Have you seen the Minecraft movie?
No,
Yeah, take the boys to see it.
they saw it already.
Did they?
They saw it already. I didn't
They
see
like
it.
it?
Yeah, they said it was good.
They go nuts over the chicken jockey.
They went nuts over all of it. They're like, dude, they did a really good job. I'm like,
I don't know that either, so I'm like, I'd go see it. I don't think I'd lose my shit over anything.
I would just be like, oh, it's cool that they brought it to life.
I'm sure like the jokes would land, you know, because they have to make it, like, even if you don't know it, they have to make the jokes land. Otherwise, it's gonna be like parents are gonna be taking their kids or whatever, and they're gonna be like, oh, "This is a stupid movie," you know. But you know, still,
Yeah, I mean, they liked it. I would watch it and catch on to some stuff, but I wouldn't catch on to all of it.
Yeah.
We just watched Dogman,
okay.
which is the writers who did Captain Underpants.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. I asked them, like, so is it like the comics, like the books? They're like, oh yeah, it's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
They're like, a few things change, but otherwise it's pretty good.
Dude, I can't wait till they make a Miss Rachel movie. We're gonna end up watching that. Dude, we got Miss Rachel on a loop.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably got like 1 million views and fucking Netflix over a month just from us.
Jesus.
I learned sign language from Miss Rachel, dude.
Really?
Yeah, they do sign like a little bit. Not they don't teach you like everything, but you know, like the alphabet, a couple colors here and there. Mama, da da. More. Basic shit.
Yeah.
Orange.
I don't have to watch Miss Rachel.
No.
No, we don't watch that.
Well, your kids are older now.
I know.
I don't have to watch it. I just sit there and watch it. I'm like, I gotta watch what the kid's watching, man. Like, not just for me, just because I want to see that it's not like. Because Phil was telling me like, oh yeah, man, there's like subliminal messages and like mind training and all that and Kokomo, and I was like, dude, you're reading too much into conspiracy shit. I'm like, my kid likes it. That's all I care about.
Well, I mean, there's things that are in there to keep them engaged in it.
Yeah, like bright colors and shit.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, he's like, oh man, I heard it's malicious. I'm like, yeah, well, when you have a kid and you want to keep him entertained, you let me know what you do, brother.
exactly.
you tell me how you keep them entertained. I'm like, because we can't let her play with the dogs because they're furry and we don't want them to bite her if she like pulls on their hair or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're dogs. You know, she'll touch them, then put her hand in her mouth. It's like, no, don't do that. That's a no.
Well, if he ever has kids,
yeah,
he'll understand and he'll be like, "Oh shit, there's a lot that you."
He's gonna be like, "What was that show you made Allison watch?"
Yeah.
Like 1,000,000 times over. Oh, Miss Rachel, brother. I was telling one of my guys too. I was like, "Do you think Miss Rachel's hot?" And he's like, "I'd smash." I was like, "Right? Like she's got something, right?" He's like, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "I thought so." Like, I'm glad it's not just me. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't watch Miss Rachel, so I wouldn't know.
Did you ever though?
No.
That came out after.
Yeah.
What the boys watch when they're growing up?
What did we watch? Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, we watched a lot of Phineas and Ferb.
Would you let them watch Ren and Stimpy?
No, dude.
How about what's it called? Chicken and cow.
Cow and chicken? No, they weren't into that. They were into Phineas and Ferb. Then they were into
like Ed and Eddie kind of shit.
They did watch that for a little bit. They didn't really get into it that much, but. And then we watched like the Spider-Man cartoon. They were into
the 90s or the Cartoon Network one,
like the one that was on Disney,
Disney
XD or whatever it was at the time.
The semi-decent one.
Yeah. Then the Avengers one that they had on there that was good.
Yeah. Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah.
World's Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah, we had that. Like, they watched a lot of Disney stuff,
Mm.
like Disney cartoons. They weren't really into that much. And then what else did we watch? We watched a lot of. They like Shrek. We watched Shrek a lot.
That's a good one because Shrek is both for kids and adults, I think.
Yeah, Toy Story. They watched Toy Story a bit. Anything on Pixar. They were big Pixar guys.
Like the animations and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
And then we watched Clone Wars, and then they got into Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I mean, now it's just all sports. It's sports, sports, sports. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice having somebody to talk sports with, since none of my friends like sports.
Won't count. Some of us like other shit. You're not a big game guy. I am.
I game, but I'm just like,
Not as big as I am though. Like,
No.
dude, I just bought a PS2. Like a PS2. I was like, I want to play some PS2 games, and I have some.
you have a PS5.
That doesn't play PS2 games.
They play some.
No, you have to like get an account and pay like a monthly fee and shit. No, it doesn't play PS2 games. Neither does a PS4 nor the PS3 unless you have one of the old ones.
Well, PS5 was supposed to be the all cross gen
Nope.
because the boys played some old
Cross
ones.
gen, yes. Cross gen is one thing. Retro compatibility is different.
Because there's some games that they play that are old.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I was like, I started playing a couple PS2 games, and then I was like, I really feel like playing PS1 games. But luckily, the PS3 plays. And I started playing Metal Gear again, the one that we played when I was
dude,
in
yeah.
junior high.
I remember you'd come to my house
Yeah.
and we would just play that game all night.
hmm I started it, and I'm like going through it, and I'm like if it's time to go upstairs or whatever, because I'm like on a time crunch. I'm like, I'm gonna skip through the stories and I'll watch them later on YouTube. Like just like the scenes. I'm like, I need to get through the scene. Like I actually enjoy it like a lot. I'm like, and they remastered it, and I was watching. I was like, it looks so much better, but they changed a couple things. I was like, nah, man, you can't beat the PS1 classic, bro.
Yeah.
That shit slapped so hard, dude, and it's so fucking well made. Like for a tactical espionage game that dealt with such a serious topic like nuclear war. It was so good, dude. It was like kind of like Jack Ryan, The Sum of All Fears, Splinter Cell, all that shit like rolled into like the super badass characters. Solid Snake.
Do you remember the Navy SEAL game where you had to have the headset on and you would tell them where to go?
SOCOM.
Oh yeah, dude, I missed
remember
that. That was awesome.
I remember my brothers bought that for the PS2, and I was the only one that would play it. They were like, "Oh, this sucks." I was like, "No, you just need to."
Yeah, I told the boys about that. I'm like, dude, there was this game, and you had to like tell them what to do.
Yeah.
While you were doing it, and they were like, "What?" I'm like, "It came with a headset,
so you could tell your team what to do."
Yeah, and they're like, "For real?" I'm like, "It was in depth, like what you did."
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Fire team, move up,"
Yeah.
and they'd be like, "Roger," and they'd move up. I'm like, it was really
team
cool.
Flank. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, now you could just do that in every game, but you're playing with other live people. Which is pretty cool. And then here's the funny thing: like, you know how the Switch 2 is coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, we're gonna have voice chat and camera, and then like you see it, and it's like the camera's like a fucking like not even a 1080p, is like 720 or some shit like that. And they're like in a voice chat. I'm like, oh my god, it's Call of Duty all over again. Like, just wait till the chat rooms act up.
Oh yeah, dude, I remember when we first got Fortnite, and I didn't let them have a headset because I'm like, no headsets.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on. And dude, just the way that people would talk.
Oh yeah, they're sad.
And I'm like,
dude.
and I'd get on here. I'd be like, bro, he's 9.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's just on here to have fun.
Like, new master, this is Thor. I will find you in your mother's basement and slobber you with my hammer.
I would just be like, bro, what the? I'm like, this is. And then I would play, and they would talk so much shit. I'm like,
yeah, dude. That's what you do, though. You got to be able to talk shit in those games.
Yeah, but it's just like I'm playing in a solo, and people are like crossing over, be like, bitch. I'm like,
what the fuck?
I'm like, dude, I'm playing a game. I don't care.
That's the one thing I do like about like me. Mainly, I'm mainly playing like solo games.
Yeah.
Like I slowly want to focus on the story, or I enjoy the hack and slash or whatnot. When I do jump online, you gotta be able to talk some mean shit, especially if you're in a lobby with a bunch of people.
Oh, I just ignore everybody, dude. I'm like, I'm not here to deal with your shit. I'm just here to play.
I enjoy it when I'm playing with like friends.
Yeah.
That's the best because it's like you're in the same room almost, even though you're like miles away.
Yeah.
Sometimes even thousands of miles away. I'm like, dude, you fucking suck. And they're like, fuck you. I'm like, are you drinking beer? Yeah. I'm like, well, fucking put it down. Pick up the remote. You fucking handless douche. You know? I'm like, I feel like I'm playing solo here. Yeah. But Phil called me out. He's like, dude, you're definitely a gamer. I was like, nah, dude. He's like, look at all this shit. I'm like, this is a collection, dude. I'm like, I lost my gamer's edge like years ago.
See, I just play for fun, man. I don't know.
Now I just like unlocking trophies. I'm like, I want to reach this. I'm like, how did this fucking YouTuber do it? Let me see. And I'm like, all right, this is what I gotta do now. I'm over I gotta figure it out myself. I'm like, nah, fuck that. YouTube's there for a reason. Like, so YouTube University, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other day, I changed a couple of bulbs on the taillight of my car. I didn't know how to do it, so I looked up some YouTube videos. Fucking YouTube University's the shit.
Yeah.
It works for gaming and fixing your car.
Oh, dude, we did all our new plumbing under our sink and changed the faucet.
Right?
And did all that stuff, so.
Gotta love YouTube and Google, man.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're listening. We love you, Google. Don't cancel us.
Hey, man, saved me probably like $500.
Oh, yeah, dude. I learned how to change my fucking garage door machine thingy, the sprocket on it, just from like, oh, you need this part. Order it. Amazon. Thank you, Amazon.
Yeah. Well, we were at Home Depot all fucking day.
Like, the springs, dude, on a garage door.
Mm-hmm.
A guy will come and charge you like $500.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was like, plus you gotta order the shit. That's another like $100.
Yeah.
Even if you only need one spring, they're like, we sell the pair. Okay. And the dude's like, well, you gotta order the tools too because I don't have them. What the fuck, dude? I fucking hired you for a reason. No, I looked it up, figured out how to do it myself. I told my brother I did it. He's like, you're lucky you didn't break your fucking face with all that torque. I was like, they're still there, dude. And then he's like, will you help me change mine? I was like, YouTube University.
Yeah, YouTube is a great tool.
It's an awesome tool if you know how to use it. That and Google, dude. Swear to God, dude. Like, even when Tyler asked me, like, oh, how do you do this? Or was it? I'm like, dude, you gotta learn to use your fucking phone. You got $1,000 piece of phone and you only use it for Facebook. That's a waste.
Oh, yeah.
It's take pictures. I'm like, I could have bought you a $500 camera, but that's what you're gonna do with it. And get a fucking clam phone. I was thinking about reverting to one of those older phones too. I use it that much. Like, I use it for watching movies or shows sometimes.
Yeah.
Like the basic shit, Facebook and all. And there's like flip phones that do that now.
Yeah. I don't know. The phone I have, not this one. This is my personal, but my work phone.
Mm-hmm.
I have everything for work on there.
Yeah.
So like I have HubSpot and everything on there that I need to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, at least it has a function. This one I have for other work stuff and personal stuff, but like I don't know. I couldn't go back to a flip phone just because of all the shit that I have to do now.
Yeah. Like, I have so many apps I don't even use.
Oh yeah, I go through my phone all the time. I'm like, oh, getting rid of this, getting rid of that. Don't need this no more.
And you look at the shit and it's like, it's running? What the fuck? I haven't used this in over a year. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what was it? Colleen was telling me the ESPN Bet app uses her Apple Health.
Oh, really?
For like checking heartbeats and everything. And I'm like, well, maybe because it's a sport app, it's seeing when you have high activity to then try to figure out, like when you should bet or something like that. I don't know. Like I was just trying to figure, I'm like, well, it's sport related. So it wants to know your fitness level to see how into sports you are.
Or like maybe it's like, oh, she's like having anxiety. It's a good time to sell her bet.
Yeah.
Kind of like, they're tricky like that, man. They could be.
I don't know. I was just like, yeah, that is a little weird, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why I turn all that shit off.
Yeah. Nah, man, I use my shit pretty basic. Shows, social media apps. You gotta be on there, and then like your bank, your bank account, my stocks, shit like that, just to keep checking up on shit, but like nothing too crazy.
No.
I'm not using it to run a multi-million-dollar business.
I'm using it to
Or
work in a
am I?
multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I had a work phone, yeah, it served the same purpose. Couldn't watch porn on it. I was like, what the fuck is this?
That's all phones are good for now. It's just to watch porn.
Yeah, pretty much. Dude, I saw this thing. You know who Riley Reid is?
Mhm.
Phil sent me this. How she's like got a family now and a kid. She wants all her shit deleted. Like she wants the Lana Rhodes treatment. Like I want all my stuff deleted and people to forget about what I did. It's like, all right, give all the money back.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
No. I worked for it. Okay, well the shit's staying up, and everybody's gonna see you get.
Well, here's the thing. Even if it gets the official stuff gets taken down, somebody will just put it back up in another way.
For those of you out there, Pornhub is not the only site.
Well, no, but then you look at like, oh, what are you embarrassed about what you did to get where you're at today? Like, maybe you should have thought about that before you started doing it.
Oh, Kyle, well, I was young and dumb, and I didn't know that a big dick was going to be in my mouth and in my butt.
Oh, she had more than just one, dude. There was one episode, I think there was like 7 at one time.
Dude, tell me more, Kyle.
No.
What else did you see on there?
I'm sure she's probably had a lot more than that.
Oh,
so.
I bet, dude. I bet. She wants all that shit deleted. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It'll be out there, dude. The internet's... I mean, there's probably shady shit about me out there. I don't even know.
Maybe.
There's probably shady shit about you, too.
Probably.
I'm not worried about it.
I don't care.
I don't care either. That's the lie.
Ain't gonna do anything.
In like 5 years, we're gonna be like, can you guys take that down?
It ain't gonna change my life right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like when James Gunn got hit with like, oh, well, you had these tweets from like 1999. It's like, what? That's when Twitter started, dude. But you did this. And they fired him from Disney, remember? Everybody's like, come on, dude. Kevin Hart had the same shit. Like, well, you said this. It's like, really? The only guy I honestly like have mad respect for on that is like Dave Chappelle. He's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, people have tried to cancel me, and like Netflix just like, hey, do you want a new special?
Yeah.
It's funny, dude.
I don't know. Cancel culture's fucking stupid.
I think it's pretty much over, dude. Like,
yeah, but they still try to do something to stay relevant.
They are. Right now, they're trying to cancel J.K. Rowling again for that. Cause she doesn't want the black dude, Papa Dessau, I think is his name, to play Snape. It's like, dude, she doesn't want you fucking around with her art. I was about to put, like, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but I saw a bunch of the comments and I was like, let's make Black Panther white. Or like Mexican or something. It's like, yeah, how would you react? Black Panther, Blade, Sam Wilson, Black Falcon, or Black Captain America. They're written to be that specific race,
Yeah, well, Disney fucked up when...
Disney's fucked up for the last 5 years. I haven't seen Thunderbolts, though. I heard it slaps, dude.
I heard it was good.
I want to watch it.
My thing is still that they fucked up Taskmaster.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I won't watch it.
You should. I'm going to watch it. I'm not gonna.
I mean, I'll watch it eventually, but I'm still just like, why?
I heard just from like clips I've seen and like reviews. What's his name? Wyatt Russell like redeemed himself really good, like his character arc.
Yeah,
fucking good. Bucky's the shit. Florence Pugh's the shit. You gotta love fucking the Red Guardian. What's his name? Jim Hopper. I forgot his name. The actor. And fucking Louis Pullman, dude. Sentry.
Yeah.
I was like, and fucking what's her name from Seinfeld?
Oh, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah. Oh, what was her name? Lorraine.
Yeah.
Lorraine. Like, I heard the movie was fucking good. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Because I saw Brave New World or whatever, Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, is that how the movie ends? I watched it. I was like, spoiler alert: the power of friendship saves the day. It's like, are you telling me all these fucking raging Marvel characters just need therapy?
Yeah. That's all they need, dude. Is
Yeah.
just to feel better.
They don't need to get the shit beat out
Oh, you
of
talking
them?
about David Harbour?
Yes, David Harbour. Sorry, David Harbour. No disrespect. I loved you. You were awesome in fucking Stranger Things. But yeah, dude.
Hmm.
And have you caught up with The Last of Us?
No.
Ooh.
No, Colleen's in Kentucky right now.
Jeffrey Wright. Dude, Jeffrey Wright's in it. And when I played the game, I was like, this dude looks like Jeffrey Wright. And they got him for the role. I was like, I feel like they developed that character like with him in mind, you know, in the game.
Mm-hmm.
This dude, Isaac. And then they shoot him in the show, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, man. He looks just like the dude. Just like they should have got fucking Elliot Page to play Ellie.
No, couldn't.
No, they should have got the chick from Alien Romulus to play Ellie, dude.
Yeah. All I know is they're giving that girl tons of hate.
Oh my god, dude. I feel bad for her, but I'm like, yeah, dude. It was horrible casting. It was. It was just bad, dude. Like, with her, specifically. Like, even the girl that plays Abby, they're like, she should have played Ellie. She looks more like Ellie. I was like, missed opportunities, HBO. You're fucking up.
Yeah.
That, and they're changing the story from the game a lot, which, to me, it irks me. But I don't want to spoil it for you.
That's all right.
All right, so Tommy. Nah, dude, Tommy in the game is a fucking beast, dude.
Yeah.
He's a beast in the second one. The only bad thing is you never get to play as him. But I was hoping, and I'm still hoping that they do something with him in the show where they show like his point of view, and we'll see. But yeah, I feel bad for Bella Ramsey because she's just not nailing it as Ellie, dude.
No.
No.
And I see memes of her like every day.
Forget about the appearance for a little bit. Like, just her acting. Her acting's good. She's just... That's not Ellie, dude.
Yeah.
You know? Like, sometimes she'll make jokes and I'm like, no. Ellie's on like a fucking vengeance warpath and this chick's like making jokes. And they had to fit in their little gay pride thing in there. And it's like, I played the game. I know they're gay, dude. And everybody saw them kiss on the second episode. Like, you don't need to put rainbow flags in the show. And all that shit happened after 2003, which is when the outbreak happened. So that doesn't make sense. I'm like, your timeline's kind of fucked up, but whatever.
Well, we need to make sure that...
We need to make sure people know that gay was still around back then. It's like, yeah, we all know.
Yeah.
You know, I got gay friends. They don't run around with fucking rainbow shirts on.
That you know of.
Do you really have a rainbow shirt?
No, but you tried giving me one of yours.
I tried to loan you one of mine.
Yeah, and I said, no, I don't need that. Sorry, bro.
That's because I'm comfortable with my own sexuality. I'm not gay. Sorry, dudes. None of that for you. You're not going to break off a piece of this.
Hey, man, the only one I know that had any kind of gay story of my friend group is Phil. So
I got gay stories, dude. I went to a gay bar and shit, but I was like, I had my back against the wall the whole time. And it was like a gay bar, dude. So there was like.
So you were on your knees the whole time.
No. Listen to the fucking story before you
you're
come
like,
in with your transphobic and homophobic bullshit.
You were just like, all right, my back's against the wall, but my knees are on the floor.
So here's the thing, dude. We were hanging out. It was a big group, and this one gay dude, he was kind of loaded, so he was kind of footing the bill for everything. We were at this cool club, right? And then he's like, hey, if you guys want, like,
you want to come to one of my places?
Well, the place shut down like at 2 a.m., right? And we were still in our 20s, so they're like, you guys want to keep party going? There's this other place that closes to like fucking 7 in the morning. If you guys want to keep drinking and keep having fun, let's go. He's like, I'm buying. So we all knew the place. I'm like, I don't know, dude. That's a gay joint. And like, nothing against gays. I'm like, that's just like, I don't know, man. I don't want to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we're like, all right, but like, we're all like, all right, we're all gonna watch each other's back, dude. Like, no fucking around. I don't want to get a finger in my ass or anything with you guys being funny. So we're there, I had my back up against the wall most of the night. We're hanging out, drinking, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I gotta take a piss, dude. So I'm like, fuck, all right. So I'm like, I'll be back. Save my spot on the wall. So I go to take a piss, dude. And I see this fucking like 6'5" behemoth in a red dress. It's clearly a man standing at the urinal as I'm taking a piss. And I'm just like in awe, dude. Not because it's like a tranny, dude. I'm just like, dude, you're fucking huge. You tell me you're trying to be a woman? Like, what are you, fucking China from the WWE? But I didn't say all that shit. I was just thinking it, so I'm like in awe. Dude, I feel this big ass claw with like fucking 3-inch long fingernails like grab me like, oh baby, you couldn't handle all this. And I was like, oh my god, I don't think even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have a choice if you wanted to. You know? I was like, am I about to get fucking Jodie Fostered here?
Jeez.
So I was like, zip, bye, going back to the wall.
Man, I didn't have anything like that ever happen to me. I'm happy.
Oh, dude. I was just glad I wasn't her type, his type, their type, whatever it was.
Well, you might have been, but they're just like, oh, I'll destroy this little guy.
Yeah. My butthole couldn't handle that, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No way, no sir.
Just sees this like...
Yeah. Dude, I mean, he probably had that. I didn't even look down. I was looking up. I was like, holy shit.
I'll do you first.
It's like, are you a power bottom or are you a top? Nah, dude. That was like this. That was scary, dude. Like, not like scary, like, oh, I'm gonna die, but I was like, oh my god, my butthole's in danger.
See, I've never been uncomfortable around gay people. Like, I've known quite a few.
It wasn't that I was uncomfortable.
But I mean, like, but I've never, like, I guess, like,
I just felt helpless, dude. Like, I was like, if this dude wanted to, he would have just been like, pants down, boy.
But I feel like maybe the ones that I've met or engaged with, like, respected my boundaries.
I guess. I mean, I was at a gay bar.
No, but I'm talking about, like, I feel like they just, they knew that I wasn't.
Here's the funny thing.
You know, and I just feel like they just went like, oh, hey, we're hanging out, whatever, you know.
Yeah, I got it.
And it was never any, like, I never, like, felt uncomfortable.
I got friends like that and stories like that too, where it's just like, oh, cool.
But I mean, I'm talking about even like being out. Like, I don't think I've ever had those kind of things where I was like, you know.
Here's the funny thing: 2 of the other guys that went with me that day, they hooked up with chicks, real chicks, because there was actually chicks that are like, oh, we're here with our gay friend, you know, and they one of the guys had an apartment. He's like, hey, you guys want to go back, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I guess the chicks were, like, traveling, so they had their suitcases, like, little handbag things. And they brought them with. And my buddies are like, you know what? They paid for everything, dude. I was like, you guys are fucking assholes. They're like, you want breakfast? We got money. I was like, it's the least I can get, dick. I almost got raped. I'm like, you guys hooked up, and I almost got raped.
Hey, maybe he was loaded too.
It wasn't worth it.
He would have taken care of you. Be like, one, I'll give you $500,000 a year.
No.
To be my sugar bear.
If anything, my butthole's gonna go in the grave virgin.
That reminds me of the one joke that Fluffy told, where this guy was like, or he's like, I'll give you an allowance, I'll take care of you, you do this, you do that, blah 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 blah. And he's like, man, I really thought about it. He's like, finally somebody wanted to take care of me, and he's like, that would have been amazing.
Well, I mean, it is a nice feeling to be like wanted and all that, and I get that feeling for my wife all the time.
I mean, I guess
it'd be nice if you were loaded too.
I mean, I guess it would be. I mean, I don't know.
Oh my god, are you coming out right now?
No, I'm trying to talk about, like, would it be not necessarily like a huge compliment, but like, would it be a confidence booster to have a gay person be attracted to you.
Oh yeah, most definitely,
You
dude.
know, like
I've had gay dudes say like, dude, like they didn't tell me like I'd smash, but they were like, oh my god, you're really good looking, and and
like
I'm
do you
like,
find that to be like, wow,
like
like
this one chick I was kind of dating back in the day in high school. She's like, my gay cousin likes you, and I was like, oh, well.
yeah, I remember
I'm
that.
like, thanks, but I'm not
I remember that
gay.
you told me about that.
Yeah, and I was like, and in the back of my mind, I was like, well, it's nice to have options, I guess, but no. But it did give me a confidence. But I'm like, dude, guys like me too. I was like, I guess that's cool. It made me feel like, yeah, somebody wants me. If you don't,
The only thing about high school that I hated was that all the chicks that I liked told me later on how much they liked me.
oh yeah,
And I was like, bitch, where the hell were you?
that that didn't happen that often to me, but it did happen, and I was like, dude, they're like, you just seem so stuck up, and I was like, I can't help this face. I'm like, I'm
See,
just a serious
I
guy.
had people tell me that I seemed like an asshole.
I got that too. They're like, you seem so serious, like you're a dickhead, and I'm like, why? I was like, I hang out with everybody. Like I got asked, like, why do you hang out with Bubba? And I'm like, why? What's wrong with Bubba? They're like, oh, he's like, fucking goth or whatever. And I'm like, he's not goth. I'm like, he just dresses like he's gonna shoot up the school. That's it.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, for me, it was just like, I just didn't care. I'm like, I went to school, I did what I had to do, but I'm like, I had a nephew to take care of. I had 2 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I had all this other shit going on.
You were a single mother.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I had other shit to do, so I didn't care.
Yeah.
And then everybody thought I was high
Oh
all
yeah.
the time. I'm like, no, it's called, I got off of work at 5 o'clock this morning, and I got 4 hours of sleep before I showed up to 10 o'clock for my first class.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm
That
like,
sleep deprivation it is kind of like a type of high.
well, but I mean, everybody thought I smoked weed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I never did.
Yeah.
And they're like, you didn't? We always thought you were. And I'm like,
You're like a huge pothead.
yeah. And I'm like, no.
Clearly, these were not your friends, Cal.
Well, no, but these were people that were like, I would talk to all the time. And they're like, dude, you got high all the time, right? I'm like, no, dude, I'm like, I had 2 jobs. I did this, I did that. I'm like, I got off of work at 4:30 in the morning, got home to shower, go to sleep. And in my last 3 years of school, I started late.
Yeah.
So I showed up at 10 a.m. for school.
Like people thought I was a pothead too because I smoked weed like a few times, and I was like, I'm not a pothead.
Never did. Still haven't.
I did with, I'm not gonna say names, but a couple guys. You know all these
Yeah.
characters. But I was like, yeah, no, I'm like, no, I never felt the need to. Like I guess it's good that I did try because I'm like, I don't need it.
See, I hated the smell.
I never got the munchies. Oh, the smell right now is like.
Well, I hated the smell, but I always hated the smell of when people in school were there too.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, oh god, it just smells so fucking disgusting.
Do you remember one time we went out and I didn't have the Jetta yet? We went out into Tahoe and we went by that area like between Walmart and here.
Mm-hmm.
And it smelled like skunk, and I told you I was like, oh, it's probably the weed in the glove compartment. You're like, what? You have weed? I was like, nah. But you freaked out so bad, dude. It was fucking funny.
Well, the job I had at the time.
Still, dude, you could have got us off. No biggie.
No.
Oh my god, you were gonna rat me out, you fucking narc.
No. No, but you remember how mad you made me when you did something stupid one night?
Yeah.
And I made sure I made sure you got home, and then you told me after.
Yeah, because I was like, dude, I don't know. I'm like, should I drive? And you're like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. Then drive home. I'll see you there. And I was like, dude, all right, I'll wait for you outside. And it was like fucking 3:30 in the morning. I'm sitting on the driveway. Like, you're like, what the fuck did you do? I was like, dude, it was a little bump.
Yeah.
The devil's dandruff. I did one little line. That is all. I was like, and it did nothing for me. You're like, you probably sniffed fucking talcum powder.
Yeah. But then I also said if you ever did that shit again, I'd never talk to you.
Yes, you did. And I didn't feel the need to, honestly. I was like, that shit did nothing for me. I'm actually wondering if it was just fucking flour.
Yeah.
I'd never feel the need to do that. Like, if somebody offers it to me, I'm like, did nothing for me last time. First time I did it, though. And I really did it. But this guy I knew, he kind of, dabbled in the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, he's like, don't do it. But he's like, you want to know what it kind of feels like? And I was like, sure. He's like, rub a little bit on your gums. He's like, your face is going to go numb.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and I was like, holy shit, dude, I can't feel my face. I feel like I went to the dentist. I was like, is this what dentists do? All day?
See, dude, like, I don't know what it, like, I was around a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just people I knew and growing up, and then seeing it at work and dealing with it. Like, I know a lot of people who I worked with who did it,
Yeah.
and I just never understood that. Because I'm like, I saw the aftermath,
Yeah.
you know, and it was just one of those things. I'm like, I have no intention of ever, like, and even growing up, I never had, like, the peer pressure.
Yeah.
Because as soon as that, if any of that shit would come around, I'd
Your
just bounce.
sisters would beat the shit out of you.
Well, no, I would
one.
just bounce myself because I mean, it just wasn't for me. I'm like, nah, dude, I'll just fucking drink.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that was
No,
the
I'm
thing.
just saying, if you did get the curiosity and you did
Oh, yeah,
dabble,
my
your
sisters
sister
would beat
beat
my
the
ass.
shit out of you.
But my thing was like, dude, I've been drinking since I was 11. I'm like, I'd rather just get fucking drunk.
Yeah.
I'm like, at least there's something to it where you're like, all right, I taste something,
Yeah.
and I could like walk around with it,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Well, yeah.
No, but I'm talking about like I could walk around the house,
Yeah.
or if we're having like if there's a party, like you could walk around. You don't have to go fucking into the bathroom with 7 other people, you know, and look like you're going into a circle jerk,
Yeah.
you know.
What are you guys doing in there? Oh, we're having an orgy.
Yeah, you know.
Really? All you guys? Like just dudes?
And honestly,
it's a
dude,
circle
like
jerk.
I mean, I like the way I feel when I'm at that like just at the drunk stage.
Well, it's like that dude from Trailer Park Boys. Oh, I forgot his name. The old dude, when he got the fucking the breathalyzer.
Mm-hmm.
He's like this gets me at like. He's like, you want to be at a 2.1. He's like, if you go above that, you're too fucked up. But this just keeps me. He's like, I know I need a little top off. Keeps me. It's right in the fucking slot.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, that's what I know. I'm like drunk enough to enjoy doing something and aware.
Yeah.
Some shit like that. I forgot, dude. It was fuck. I was like, oh my god, that has got to be
Like,
one of the best
that's
skits ever.
and that's my like philosophy. Like I never smoked weed.
Yeah.
Never had the urge, whatever. I hate the fucking smell.
Yeah.
I do want to do edibles one time, though.
Yeah.
One time, I do. Just once.
Yeah.
I do want to do that. I was, unbeknownst to me, given acid once.
Really?
Somebody put a stamp on me. Yes.
Like on your person or like
on me. They put it on me.
and you like perspiration you absorb
It was somebody that we know, we grew up with, gave
Mm-hmm.
me one, and it freaked the fuck out of me. And I was 14 years old. And that scared the shit out of me because it was a bad trip because I didn't know about it.
Yeah, so you were like
So I was
prepared
freaking
at
out.
all.
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I was freaking the fuck out.
Dude, I remember one time I smoked weed. I saw squirrels boxing. I swear to God, they had gloves on.
And then, like, let me see what else. Never did weed. Never did coke. I don't know why anybody would do heroin. Never did heroin.
Crack cocaine.
Never did crack. I mean, I never did a drug. I remember one time I was given. I hurt my knee really, really bad, and it was like, and I had Vicodin once.
Yeah.
And when I took it, it made it worse. So when I looked it up, it was like 1 point whatever % of the population has the opposite effect of pain
my mom
pills.
had that. They gave her like so she fucked up her knee, tore her like some ligaments.
Mhm.
I think it was her meniscus. And so we took her. She got a cortisone shot. They gave her Vicodin for the pain. So obviously, I was losing my shit because I'm like, "What do you need? What do I got to do?"
Mhm.
I'm like, "Stay off your leg" and all this other shit. She's like, "No, that shot really helped me." And like now she's better, like
Yeah.
way better. Like she had that shot years ago, and she's still like, "I don't need another shot." She's like, "I can move around and everything." I'm like, "You tore your fucking meniscus, dude. What the fuck?"
Well, the problem with cortisone is that it builds up scar tissue,
Right.
and it depletes bone density.
Right. So they gave her Vicodin like for the pain. She took one. She's like, "I don't need this shit."
Oh, yeah.
She's like, she was fucking high, dude.
No, dude, mine. I wanted to cut my leg off. It hurt so bad, and I even like so my she was a coworker. She had it because she like broke her back, so she had to take him every once in a while. And then she's like, she saw me like limping into work. She's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Dude, my knee is swollen. I could barely walk." She goes, "Try one to see if it'll help you out to get."
We'll see. Here's the thing. I told my mom I knew about Vicodin, and I was like,
Yeah,
take half.
yeah.
Like, of what they told you, take half. I'm like, because you don't. My mom, like, she'll have a sip of beer, if anything, every now and then. So I'm like, don't do the full tablet. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what that doctor said. Do half. I'm like, you're not even in that much pain, so try half, see how it feels. And she was like, I don't need this shit. Like, she tried it, and she's like, I feel like the worst I've ever felt in my life, like dizzy, and like she was having like a bad trip. So I was like, just chill out, lay down. I'm gonna be here watching over you till it wears off. And she's like, I don't need that shit anymore. And I was like, all right, can I sell it?
Oh, dude, yeah. My pain like quadrupled. I felt so worse after. Oh, dude, I was like, when is this gonna wear off?
Right.
Because it literally felt like somebody was just stabbing me in my leg.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this needs to go. And then I had Valium once for a surgery.
Yeah.
And
medicated?
It was given, like the doctor told me,
Prescribed,
like, they're like, hey, you have to take one. They're like, there was only one.
Yeah.
They're like, take this an hour before you come in.
Yeah.
And I came in, and it was just, it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was there, but I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't like the feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, why do people fucking like this? I'm like, this shit sucks.
Well, it's a thing, like, for example, I know, like, it was a feeling I got when I did that.
And that's why I refuse pain medication. So I'm like, I will suffer because I know it's what I'm supposed to feel.
Like, you know, when you get fucked up, you've gotten fucked up. So I know this. But you know when you get fucked up and you're kind of like, you're not yourself. Like, you're not your normal self. You're kind of like, you're basically a dumbass. And I'm not saying you specifically. I'm saying, like, in general, like, you get fucked up, you're like, you're a dumbass. I don't care who you are.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of what it is, like, when you dabble with all the other shit.
Yeah.
You're not you. You're either slurring your words, or you're super hyper, or you're doing all this crazy shit. You're not your normal self. Which some people could say, like, oh, well, it's just like an exponential of your personality. It's like, no, you're being a dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, and when I get fucked up, I'm like, I think it was like when I was around 25, I'm like, you know what? I did the whole going to the club, getting fucked up and throwing up and get rowdy and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm kind of done with that. Like, it'll still happen afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're going to bring that up.
Because there was one time I remember you were pretty fucked up, and I had to, like, calm you down.
Yeah.
And so, I'm just like...
I'm not saying there's not time.
But I just remember... I don't remember where we were at, but something was going on, and I'm like, dude, just like... I'm just like, hey, chill out.
That's what I'm getting. Like, I hate getting to that point. Because sometimes it'll happen and you're not aware. Like, when you got it, you're not aware. You're just like, I'm having fun. Yeah, let's keep drinking. And it happens, you know? And it's kind of like that drug. You can either get that high or you get that rowdiness inside you. And you bring it out and you're like, I'm the party beast. I'm Frank the Tank. I'm fucking the machine and all that bullshit. And it's just like, I get into the point. I like getting that tipsy high.
Yeah.
When you're like, I'm having an awesome time. I'm drinking. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, all right, if I drink 2 more of these, I'm going to get fucked up where I need to go. Like, put me to bed, dude. Otherwise, I'm going to be like, dude, let's fucking watch Peacemaker all night, dude. Fucking order Domino's. I'm like, you don't need that shit, dude. We're not 20 anymore.
Yeah. Well, I still want to know what that dude in Kentucky put in my beer, Julio's beer, and Simich's beer. Yeah. To make us fucking pass out.
You guys got roofied, brother. I think they roofied us, but we were just too strong. The force was strong.
You guys were inside.
Yeah, we got the fucking...
We were outside with the drug dealers.
We got the Green River too, though.
No, not that night.
You guys got another shot outside?
No. That was the second night we were there. Yeah. Not the night when you said Morgan Wallen sucks.
The night previous? Yeah. Was that the first night or the second night?
That was the first night when you said Morgan Wallen sucks.
Is that the night that you got roofied?
No, it was the second night. When we went there during the day and we were outside.
When you guys took pictures without us? Yeah.
Yeah, that night.
It's all right, Cam. It's all right, Cam. I know you're listening. We know we weren't needed. We got our picture.
Hey, dude, that woman was an awesome sport, okay? And it just so happened to fall into place the way it did.
Didn't Simmons try to grab a fucking dog and like, hey, let's have this dog?
No, we were just...
Like some guy that was walking by with his dog? Like,
no, we were trying to get him in the picture.
Yeah.
And he turned around and walked away.
Wasn't he with the dog, though?
Yeah. But it was just... He was there. We're like, hey, dude, you want to get in the picture, too? And he was like, no, ran away.
He was like, fucking tourists.
Yeah. But this lady just walked up and we were like, oh, hey, how's it going? She goes, hey, what's going on? We're like, oh, we're here for a bachelor party. She was like, who's getting married? And they pointed at me, and she comes up and she starts choking.
Like, don't do it.
She's like, what are you fucking stupid? I'm like, yeah, keep doing it.
I keep doing it.
I
can't get out of my own way.
I'm like, keep choking me. It's cool.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was a fun time.
Yeah. Dude, Kentucky, the whole thing was a fun time.
I know.
Dude,
I
guys fell asleep during the brats, dude. That was the shit.
Well, if I wouldn't have fallen asleep, I'd be like, put that shit in the oven.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take 7 hours on the grill.
Dude, we were drinking and smoking cigars. It was good.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You could have thrown that shit in the oven.
Well, we didn't think
so
about
that
count.
Even JJ, I was talking to him like, dude, why did you just put that shit in the oven? He goes, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, dude, I would have put that shit in the oven as soon as I saw how small the flame was. Like,
oh yeah, dude, I felt bad for Camp, but I'm like, dude, just keep drinking. We're listening to good fucking music. We're smoking cigars, drinking some whiskey. I was like, just take it in, brother. It was a good time though.
Yeah, I showed Cam a place I want to go to for a guy's trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's down. I just gotta break the chain for you so you could come.
You do.
And then get a couple other people, Julio, Simic. I'm sure I could get JJ to come.
Is JJ married?
Yeah. And he has a baby. He has a daughter. Yeah, his wife was at the wedding.
I was like, I don't know if it was his girlfriend or his wife. I know he went with somebody.
No, it's his wife.
Yeah.
They've been married for a while. He's a good dude.
You want to do one more?
Yeah, we could do one more.
All right.
Yeah, I was really happy how you guys all got along.
Oh yeah, dude, those guys are awesome. I can hang out with those dudes.
I said it was like the perfect. It was the perfect setup.
I thought you were gonna say it was the perfect storm.
No, I'm telling you,
I got all my assholes
it was,
together.
It was the perfect setup for what I wanted. Was for all of you guys to get along.
Yeah.
Because it's an eclectic group of people from different kind of walks of life that all were able to gel together.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know me, I get along with most everybody.
I mean,
like,
the only thing that was funny was that all the Mexicans got in one truck and all the white guys got in one truck.
One car, we were like, they're gonna call ICE on us.
If you would have showed up at the airport, yeah, you guys would have been arrested.
Maybe. No, dude, we all look whitish. We all look like broskies.
Well, Cam is only Mexican by blood. He's not.
So, well, Julio speaks like very little Spanish, doesn't he?
No, dude.
He's fluent?
Yeah.
I thought he wasn't.
When he talks with his parents.
Espanol?
Mainly, yeah. His parents will speak Spanish to me.
Yeah.
And I'll understand it.
She's like, my mom, Cayo.
Yeah, like when they talk, like they'll go back and forth, and they'll like try really hard to say English, and I'm like, hey, I'm like, just it's fine, like. Don't expect me to say it back.
You're like, yo hablo un poquito español.
Yeah, like, I'll understand what you're saying.
Have you ever heard fucking Ben Affleck speak Spanish or Matt Damon, dude?
No.
Dude, it's fucking trippy. They, like, speak, like, fluent. Like, they have a little bit of an accent, but they, like, speak and understand fluent Spanish. I was like, just watch those videos, like, in a little bit.
Yeah, I always understood it more than I was able to say it.
Yeah.
And it helped me out a lot. Like, when they would say, like, if somebody I was dealing with was trying to play that card.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, okay, so this is what this, and then they'd look at me and I'm like, I understand what you're saying.
Except when Talia talks. Then
all right, no. When Talia goes slow, I understand. We were going really, I remember, was it the first night I met her?
It was when we were at Colleen's birthday party.
Yeah, at my house.
Yeah.
And everything was fine, and then she got really comfortable, and then just went off, and I'm like, nope, you lost me.
I remember that. You're like, you just looked at me like, dude, what's she saying? And I'm like, nah, you said you understood Spanish.
Everything was going good until she went. Brrr.
Yeah. Trust me, dude. I understand fluent Spanish, and sometimes I'm like, what the fuck did you just say?
Well, I mean, it was fine because she was going slow, and I remember telling her, like, if you go slow, I can understand you. No. And then we were talking, and then all of a sudden it went like, Like the pace was like.
Here's the funny thing, dude. She speaks perfectly good English.
I know.
You know this. But she's like, oh, I don't feel comfortable. And I think people, and I know you were like, dude, nobody's meant to make fun of you. If anybody does, I'll kick them out.
Yep.
And I was like, thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Well, I would have done that anyway. Like,
I understand, yeah. But I was just like, she's like so self-conscious about her English. And she's like, I need to practice my English. Will you speak only English to me? I'm like, sure.
You know what, though? I got to say, the best night
was when we ordered the pizza.
When
she started drinking the beer.
When she came out of her shell, she was doing those shots.
Oh, with the white gummies or whatever?
Yes, that was where I was like, all right. It's like, all right, you're coming out of it now.
Yeah,
you didn't
fucking
like
the pop.
I'm like, all right, fine. You're finally not caring. You're just being you. And it was just like,
no, that was not her. She was uninhibited, basically.
No, but I'm talking about, it was like, but she was
relaxed.
She was taking a step out of that,
Bubble.
not being worried.
Yeah.
And she was just like, here I am. And she was just doing that. And I'm like, yes, just keep. And I wanted to be like, you don't have to get drunk to be like this, but just be like this.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. And I even told her, and even like anytime, like when we would have things and you guys would show up, like everybody would be like, if she speaks Spanish, okay, whatever. Like, or if she speaks English, like none of us are gonna make fun of her. And I was always like, and I would tell people, I'm like, yeah, she gets a little weird about. They're like, why? They're like, none of us are gonna fucking judge her.
I know.
And even all of like Colleen's friends were like, dude, she can just come fucking party with us and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And just do whatever. Like, but that night, night when she's like, I need more medicine, and I'm like, yes, here we go, keep going. And then we got the pizza, and she just started drinking beer, and I looked at her, I'm like, what?
She started taking the beers out of my hand. I was like, whoa, hold on. I was like, can we get another bucket here?
I'm like, yes. I'm like, do that. And she's like, no. I'm like, but you're doing it.
Yeah. That and the ranch waters, dude.
Yeah.
That was funny.
See, me and her have a lot in common. We could just get a tequila and some seltzer water and just go to town.
Well, right now she won't drink because of the baby. She's like, I gotta watch the baby. She's like, you could do it, but you're not holding the baby when you're fucked up. And I was like, I don't like. I would want to, obviously, because she's my baby.
Oh, dude, that's the best sleep though. When you're like kind of buzzed and Allison wants to go to sleep, and you just lay there. And you guys just fall asleep like on a chair, and she sleep. Oh, dude, it is the best.
I've done that.
I raised 2 kids like that.
But I don't need to be. I'm saying I don't need to be buzzed.
No. But I'm talking about like, but the buzzed feeling on top of it, dude. Like they sense it, and they go into even like a deeper sleep. They're like, oh yeah, you're not moving either. Okay, cool. Yeah. We're good right here.
Yeah. No, dude. Every time, like, So we worked out a system where it's like she gets her hour to do her thing.
We need to get her drunk again.
Yeah, we do. And then I get an hour to do.
Can I get her drunk again?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be there, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course you're gonna be there, but you're gonna be the designated driver.
There's nothing shady going on here.
No, I just want to get her drunk again.
No, yeah, we can get her drunk. But she wasn't even drunk though. She was just like buzzed. But anyway,
no. The gummy bear night.
She wasn't fucked up.
Oh, there was a point.
She drove home, dude. I was fucked up. But
because she's a pro. She's a closet pro.
She's a closet pro?
She's a closet pro, dude. All right, when she was just like, boom, boom, boom.
Snapping back.
And it just kept on going. I'm like, yeah.
Keep racking up that tab.
That was a point where she had a flashback to where she was like, yeah, I could do this. And then she was just like, all right, I need to stop doing this.
But, okay, so...
But like I said, it was that moment where it just felt like she
came out of her shell
and out of her comfort zone into being able to be like, all right, fine, here I am.
Yeah.
And I was very happy that night.
Yeah.
Because I was like, finally.
Yeah.
Like, you're not worried.
You're like, we broke through.
Well, because I told her, I'm like, you don't need to worry about us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'll never say anything. Colleen will never be like, what the fuck is she saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to understand that we're not like that.
Yeah.
We're not judgmental. Like, our whole friend group is not judgmental.
Right.
You know, and if it's like, if you needed to say something or you were worried about something, like, a lot of us understand Spanish to be able to understand
or you
you.
grasp some aspect of it where like you kind of put it together.
And if Roxy's there, then you have another one where she could just fucking translate it for you, and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I always wanted her to know that. I'm like, dude, you're in around a circle of people who don't give a shit and are not gonna be like, oh, fucking Talia said that.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's gonna care. If anything, people are gonna be like, oh, dude, fucking Talia had a great time.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we would try to do.
Yeah.
And I felt like that night she finally had a grasp on it.
Yeah.
To where I was like, what do you want?
Yeah.
I'm like, you want this? We're getting this.
Yeah.
How does this sound? Does this sound good? All right, you're getting another one of those. We're mixing it up tonight. You're getting tons of different shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope your stomach can handle it. Then I'm just like, here we go. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. I'm like, keep going. This is good.
Yeah.
You know, and then she's like, I think I need more medicine.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got you. I'll go get you some more medicine. And I think I even went, it was the one, the younger bartender that we would always see.
Yeah.
The little brunette girl.
Yeah.
Who knew us by name. And I'm like, yep, I need to get more medicine. Let's go. Keep it
She
coming.
already knew like what
Yeah,
medicine
she knew.
was.
She knew. She's like, oh, you need another one? I'm like, yeah, she needs more of her medicine. She's like, I got you.
Yeah. You know what's funny? She wasn't like that. Like, she's never a big drinker. Like, she'll drink a Michelin and she'll be like, all right, I'm buzzed. I'm good.
But she was having a good time.
No, yeah.
You know, and I felt like I felt like that's what she needed.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I was happy to be able to do that. I'm like, look, dude, like, I want you to know that you can have fun with us, like,
fun, yeah.
You know, and where nobody's gonna be like, oh shit, what's this chick doing? But like, none of us give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, we don't care. We're all gonna get home.
Yeah.
And we're all gonna be like, hey, tomorrow's another day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I felt like she just, it's like, and I wanted her to be like, I'm just understand, like, you could be this way around us. Yeah. Like when you were telling me like how, like, if we were hanging out, like, she had to get all dressed up. I'm like, everybody's gonna be fucking wearing yoga pants and a hoodie.
Yeah.
Like, throw that shit on and just come hang out. Like,
that's what I told her so many times. Now she's gotten more relaxed. But I'm like, dude, just wear like sneakers.
Yeah.
And whatever pants you want. And you can wear a hoodie or you can wear a blouse. I'm like, and then we would go there and I'm like, you realize you're overdressed, right? And she's like, still, I like to look nice. I'm like, okay, you do you. Well, I'm like, everybody else is wearing their comfortable clothes.
Yeah.
Like, nobody is fucking like, oh my god, what did you see what she wore? I'm like,
yeah, if we're having a party at my house for Colleen's birthday party, fucking come comfortable.
Yeah. Because
that's what we're all gonna be in.
So here's the thing. She used to hang out with these bras that were like very judgy and stuff. If they were all like, oh my god, this, and oh, my husband for my birthday bought me this handbag, and they're all like that, dude. They're all like poshy, and I'm like, I've always told her, I'm like, those bras are pieces of shit. I'm like, they're the kind of bras that.
Well, tell her none of us are in the cartel.
So I would tell her, I was like, those bras are the kind of bras that are like, oh my god, I went to space, I'm an astronaut, because I went on the Jeff Bezos thing, like the Katy Perry thing, and I'm like, you're not a fucking astronaut. I'm like, you're basically a housewife that are worthless without your fucking husband. Yeah. I'm like, tell me how much she brings home net without her husband. Would she be able to get that fucking bag? She's like, oh, well, she's got a degree and everything. I'm like, okay, tell her to go get a fucking job and do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, and not to say, like, being a stay-at-home mom, I'm like, but when you take that attitude, like, oh my god, man, oh, it's like, no, dude, stop. You're a piece of shit. You know? Like, she still talks about, like, oh my god, you know, Khloe or Kourtney, whichever Kardashian's like, oh, she's the youngest billionaire, bro. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Those are all pieces of shit. I don't care about the Kardashians or the Jenners, whatever the fuck they are. They, them, he, she's, you know. I'm like, they worry too much about physical appearances. I'm not into that shit. I'm like, I like to be comfortable. That's why I always get I'll wear my fucking Chucks. I'll wear my Adidas, my All-Stars. I'm comfortable. I'll wear jeans. I'll wear a button-up shirt, and this is the classiest I get.
Yeah. Or I'll be like,
unless I'm going to like a wedding or an event, you know, you bring. I'm like, because otherwise it's
all right.
fucking,
Weddings are different.
Because otherwise it's fucking worthless if you're fucking poshing up all the time.
Well, yeah.
Nobody's gonna notice the difference. Now, if you're like, shit, you could even say like fucking Elon Musk, but even that dude's like, dude, I'm wearing fucking sneakers and a fucking trench coat.
Or also, if I say, hey, we're having a party for my wife in the middle of June, you don't need to fucking dress up. Yeah. Fucking dress comfortable because it's gonna be hot and humid as shit. Like,
damn right.
And it's in my backyard. Like, come relaxed.
And we're gonna be shotgunning beers, son.
Exactly. Oh, dude, we gotta get her to shotgun.
Huh?
Oh, we gotta get her to fucking do a shotgun.
No, she couldn't handle it, dude.
Oh, that'd be fun.
She can't chug.
Or like a beer bong or something. I'll get her. I could get her to do one. She'll listen to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Not with Allison, dude.
No.
Not if I'm drinking.
No. You won't. No, there's gonna be a night where you don't drink. I want to get her fucking annihilated.
No, she won't get annihilated.
I can.
If anything, I
can convince her
about her. No, you won't. You can peer pressure as much as you want.
Oh no, I wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a peer pressure.
You're gonna come off like an asshole, dude.
Oh no,
if you do it,
no,
she won't want to. She won't want to because she'll be too conscious.
I'll be like, we need to have some medicine.
Yeah, she may do one or two, but she's not gonna get annihilated.
I can get her to do one. I can get her to do one beer bong.
Doubt it.
I could get her to do one.
Very doubt it.
I think I could.
Very much doubt it.
Challenge accepted, dude.
Yeah, challenge accepted. I guarantee you she won't do it.
I'll do it.
And I won't even have to like influence, like, don't do it. I can tell her.
If you told her not to do it, I'd get mad at you. I'd be like, no.
No. I will have no influence in it. She won't do it because she's too conscious about the baby. And she'll be like, you won't be able to take care of her.
But if we do this one and it's one beer, I could get her to do one if it's just one beer. I'm like, look, it's one beer. You'll be fine.
You want to turn my wife into an alcoholic?
No, one beer. One beer bong is one beer. And I'd be like, look, we do this once and we're done. You don't have to drink anymore. I just want you to do it one time with all of us and just have a good time. We could do and what we would do is we'd have like a line. So now it wouldn't just be like me and her. It'd be like 15 people to do like one beer.
All I can say is good luck.
I think she would do it if it was one.
We'll see.
If it was just, I think if it was just one and done, then I'd be like, look, just do this one.
I told you, I'm not gonna interfere. I'm just gonna do what you want.
But I'm gonna say, I think if I could say, look, I don't want you to have any more.
Yeah.
It'll be this one, and we're all gonna do it at the same time.
You're gonna get 15 fucking beer bongs.
Yeah. Or we just fucking shotgun.
She won't do it.
Shoot,
shotgun's way different, dude.
No, it's not really.
Shotgun's like a fucking. You gotta be.
Shotgun and a beer bong is pretty much the same, dude.
It is, but the beer bong's way easier because somebody just fucking.
Yeah, but I'll get her like
shotgun. You gotta know when to.
But I'll get her like a ranch water, one to do. Like it wouldn't be a beer. Like I'd be like, here.
She won't know when to pop, dude.
I'll tell her when to do it, or I'll do it for her. I'll be like, no, there's the non-carbonated ones.
No, I'm just saying, but like with the beer, when you do a shotgun, you get the carbonation high. That's why.
But I think I could get her to do one, just one. If I go, let's just do this one together.
Good luck. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna interfere. I'm not gonna.
I think I could get. I could get one. No. I could get one out of her.
All right. You want to bet on it?
Yeah. I will.
All right. What do you want? Like a 20? Something small. How about a 6-pack? Let's do a 6-pack.
Okay.
Ultras, Bush. What do you want?
I don't care.
Well, it's a Guinea.
All right. We'll do a 4-pack of Guinness for you, and a 6-pack of whatever for me.
It's on.
All right. And I'll get one. And I'm talking about just one.
Just one.
Just one.
She doesn't have to drink the whole night. Just the one.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to influence her in any way.
Yeah. And I'll tell her,
it ain't going to happen.
And I'll be like, look, we're all going to do it, except for one because he's holding Allison.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we're going to do this one because of whatever we're doing. I'm like, I just want you.
Do it for Colleen. It's her birthday.
Exactly.
Kind of shit, yeah.
I'm like, I just want you to do one, and I'll show her how to do it. And I think she'll do the one, and then she'll be done. And then she'll be like, I'm not doing no more.
Good luck.
I think I can do it.
Just don't push too much because she'll be like, Kyle's an asshole. He wants me to get drunk, and I'm
no. And then I'll be like, I want you to do it with me.
All right, but you gotta understand what no means no.
Yeah.
All right.
But
it's on, dude. It's on. I told you, I'm not gonna influence her in any way. I'm gonna be like, if you want to do it, do it. I'm like,
no. See, when you say it like that, that's gonna come off as don't do it.
No, I'm gonna be like, do it. Go ahead. I'll be like, do it. Enjoy yourself. I'll even push for it.
Now, see if you do. I feel like if as long as you're not being.
I'll be like, do it in front of your baby.
See now, yeah, you do that. They'll be like, no.
Let Allison watch Water and Alcohol.
Hold her up, be like,
fucking beer.
hold her up on your shoulders, be like, go home, mama.
Yeah,
go home, mama.
Allison having some beer in her fucking bottle. Yeah, we'll see.
I think I could get her to do one. Dude.
Yeah.
I think just if it was one and done, I think she would do it. I think she would. Okay. I think she would.
Okay. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying good luck.
It
would be a rare occasion. I believe it could happen. I'm just saying good luck.
Well, because I feel like she's comfortable with me now compared to like before.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I asked her, I'm like, I just want you to do one, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not asking you to take 15 shots of tequila. I'm like, this is one beer. We do, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and she doesn't even have to finish it. She just has to do it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I don't even tell her. I'm like, you don't even need to finish it. I just want you to do it.
Let's do a timeout. I gotta take a piss. I got it, bro. I got it. I try to not let it interfere with my activities.
I got you.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, all right. Let's change the subject of you trying to get my wife to do a fucking beer bong to something else. What you were saying something about like, oh, when you get buzzed and the baby falls asleep. Most nights, I try to put Allison to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like while she's doing her thing, she's like, "Oh, it's bottle time," and can you try to put? And I'm like, "Okay, let's watch Miss Rachel because she fucking slaps." And she'll drink her bottle, and sometimes she'll get rowdy. She's like, "I want to play ball with the ball," and I'm like, "No, dude, you need to chill out. It's bedtime." And she'll fall asleep, and I'll fucking like cradle her in my arm, and it's just like she'll just be like, no. She makes funny noises right now. She's getting like little words out like mama, and she's like, I don't know if she's saying mama, and I'm like, she's saying mama. I just don't know if she knows your mama, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That like buzz sleep when they fall asleep on you and they feel it. They're like, oh yeah, he's gonna be sleeping deep too.
Dude, right. There's a couple nights where I'm like so tired. And I'm like, I'll put her to bed and I'll wait for Tyler to come back. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need my arms. Like, let's just watch a movie and I'm going to pass out and go to bed. It's rare, but I'll do it like maybe once a week. Because I'm like, I'm just beat. Like today, we did 8 headings. And we hadn't done 8 headings in a while, but we got them knocked out and we still had a little bit of time to chill. And I was like, all right. And then we had M. Shaw there. So it's like you got to be like on your toes kind of deal.
Yeah.
The guy was cool though. He was like, most of those MSHA guys are like older, so they kind of sometimes they don't give a fuck. Let's say they don't give a fuck. I don't want to say that. They're just like a little bit more relaxed. Like, hey, you guys doing everything according to, and we're like, yeah, no, we're on top of it. And he's like, are you sure? And we're like, yeah. Check it out, bitch. And they're like, I believe you. So. But yeah, dude, we had a heavy day. And then our super came in and he was like, hey, you guys got a scaling bar? Because we got this thing and I need you guys to go knock it down. We're like, dude, yeah, a fucking full list today, dude. And you want us to fucking break away and do that? And like, we're not going to finish if we do that. But my partner's kind of like the lead. He's been doing it longer. So he's like, dude, we can't. Like, you got to ask somebody else. He's like, all right, can I take your scaling bar? And he's like, there's another one up at the mine shop. So, but yeah, but yours is here. We're like, okay, so if we need it, we're fucked. Okay, cool, take it. Normally we don't need it, but I was like, that was smart of him to take our fucking tool. Anyway, we had to be on top of it. We got it done. I came home, and then, I got out, and you're like, you want to do it today? I'm like, we did a shitload of work today. Tomorrow should be a chill day. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. I was like, let's knock it out. Yeah. Plus, I hadn't seen you in a while, dude. I missed you.
Yeah, dude, me too. In 2 weeks, I'll be in Wisconsin, so.
Oh, you're going to be with the Cheeseheads?
Yeah, I got to go up to Oshkosh, Menasha, Ashwaubenon, and Neenah, Wisconsin.
Those are just made-up words.
In Green Bay. I do have to go up to Green Bay.
I know Green Bay. The other ones are made-up words. I know all words are made up, but those are, like, specially made up.
Nope, they're real.
Dude, the guy that we had with us, he's like, he was telling us, he was like, "Oh yeah, dude, the Vikings and shit." And we're like, I was like, "Oh man, did you ever do that 23andMe thing or whatever?" And he's like, "No, but I have a cousin who's like a fucking Rhodes Scholar or whatever, and he's done a family tree back to like the year 800, and he's got like volumes of fucking data, and he's published 2 books." I'm like, "Of your family tree?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's gotta be fucking boring." I didn't tell him that, but I was like, "Dude, that's gotta be fucking." Like, I'm sure for your family it's interesting, but like for everybody else, it's like, I don't give a fuck where you came from, dude.
Yeah. I just found out talking about that, which is pretty funny. On my dad's side of my family.
Mm. Don't tell me you're Navajo now.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm Choctaw. But anyway. But
Choctaw.
on my dad's side of my family, I guess it would be my great grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's my great grandfather.
So your dad's grandfather?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't know anything after him.
Like before him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he went by like multiple different names.
Damn.
So we don't even know if our like real last name is
sounds
long.
Like, sounds Jack Rippery.
Yeah. Like he just like showed up because he was raised in
He's probably one of the vampire dudes.
well, his mom was a madam of a bordello in Indiana. So
explain what a bordello is, because I don't know.
it's a whorehouse. My
You mean a brothel?
yes.
Okay.
So I guess she would be my great grandmother was a madam
She was
of
like
a whorehouse.
She was like the one that ran the shit.
Yes, and that's where my great grandfather was raised.
Okay.
And there's
So he's like,
nothing.
I got all these IDs I stole from these
Yeah.
cowboys.
So they knew him as one name, but on his tombstone is another name.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad, and when we did the search, there's like nothing.
Can you imagine, like a couple generations from now, kids are gonna be like, "My great grandfather was a podcaster."
Yeah. But it's just
He's
weird.
Like, that was like the whorehouses of the 2020s.
Well, yeah, because I'm able to trace my mom's side all the way back to Ireland.
Like how far back?
Ireland and Scotland to like
1600s,
yeah.
1700s kind of deal.
But with my dad's side, it's just
sketchy.
it ends in
Bordello.
It ends in that bordello in Indiana, and there's nothing else after that.
Was that when Indiana was like probably one of the colonies?
No, it was in the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Louisiana Purchase era.
Well, it wasn't part of the Louisiana Purchase, but
Era.
But anyway, it's like he just appears, and it's a different.
He's probably a vampire, dude. Like
well, the thing that
movie.
like we're talking about, like me and my dad were talking about, we're like, what if our last name isn't really long?
Yeah.
Like, what if it's something else and he just fucking made it up?
Yeah.
And he's like, I never really thought about them. Like, yeah, what if we find out that we're not?
Dude, can we do a drinking night like with your dad? I feel like I want to have a couple cocktails with your dad.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you want, just let me know.
Dude, I love hanging out with
we could go to their house, or we could go to downtown Lockport in the bar at the Irish bar, right down the street from his house. We could just go there, hang out.
Dude, I fucking love hanging out with your dad.
As long as we don't have to hang out with my mom.
Shut up, dude. I love your mom too. She's fucking awesome.
Dude, my mom's a pain in the ass. Dude.
Nah, dude,
I love my mom, but she's a pain in the ass.
Dude, your mom is awesome. Like every
But
time...
no, but see, the thing is, if we go somewhere and my mom's there, she's gonna tell my dad we have to leave.
Well, we could drink at your house or there. Like,
well, we could just go to their house.
Yeah,
and we can hang out there.
Your mom will lose her shit over Allison. She'll just be like,
"Oh, you're bringing the whole fucking family?"
Well, I mean, if you want to keep them distracted, yeah.
All right, I guess we can do that.
Or if you want to just be like, "Hey, we're doing a guys' night,"
Well, how about we do that? We bring them there and we leave.
No, we'll get in trouble. I get in trouble here for going out to the garage with my brother, dude.
Oh. No, we could go do that and just hang out in the garage at my parents' house.
We gotta do something, dude. I love your dad, dude. He's awesome. I love your mom, too.
Well, at least somebody does.
Asshole, dude.
No, my parents are all right.
Yeah, dude. They're awesome, dude.
But I saw them enough for like the past 3 months, so.
Did you? You see them a lot?
Fuck, yeah, dude. Too much.
Well, they have each other, which is good.
I guess.
Dude, stop. But yeah, dude. I remember when I hung out with your dad for a little bit at the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he's like, I hadn't gotten a new pair of, because he had booties. He's like, I hadn't gotten a new pair of booties in a while. And I was like, yeah, dude, I was used to wear boots and shit.
Dude, my
right?
dad wore boots all the fucking time.
Cowboy Mike.
Never understood that. Grew up on the southwest side of Chicago and wore fucking cowboy boots.
Dude, my dad wore cowboy boots all the time, but he's Mexican. So.
Exactly. My dad's a fucking Polak.
Hey, man, maybe. Dude, I know this guy.
And now he has all his problems with his legs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, because you wear fucking cowboy boots.
I know this guy, Lucas. He's awesome, dude. He's Polish, actually. And he's like the most Mexican Polish guy you would ever meet. He wants to come on. I gotta talk to him. He's gotta come out here. The thing is, he lives out like border Wisconsin. So it's like he'd have to crash or he'd have to have like somebody drive him home. But anyway, that dude is bananas. He could talk for hours and he's got different topics. But that dude wore boots all the time. And he would come on like the job site and he'd be like, a la chona le gustaba. He speaks Spanish. Like he wasn't fluent, but he'd like,
dude,
come
Polish
on, like,
people love Mexican music.
Yeah. He was like, I was like, do you think that's like polka or something? He's like, nah, dude, I just love it.
Yeah, they love the rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And I only know that because of a Polish chick that I was acquainted with
Mm-hmm.
who loved Mexican music.
Do I know her?
And so did her family.
Do I know this individual?
Uh-huh. Fucking nut job.
Ooh, that doesn't narrow it down.
The one that broke into my house, or tried to break into my house.
Okay,
that I almost shot. Yeah.
But yeah, dude.
There, that narrows it down to one.
Yeah. Well, does it though?
Yes, it does.
No, but this dude Lucas, he's fucking awesome, dude. He called me one night at like fucking midnight, and I was like, dude, I didn't answer, and I texted him. I was like, dude, I was with the baby, putting her to sleep. Sorry, I didn't answer. What's up? And then he never answered. But like I got his stories, dude. I checked his story. That dude like goes ice fishing in the backyard. He's got like a lake in the back of his house. Not a lake. I think he's on a river or something. One of those like big stream lakes or whatever. But that dude's fucking awesome. And then there's another guy from work too that my partner was like, dude, you should have him on the podcast. That dude got stories for hours too. Ex-military, still fucked up. Stories for hours. Dude's awesome, dude. If you sat down with him, you'd be like, dude, what the fuck is going on with your life? He'd be like, I don't know. And he's fucking like 4 years older than me. Not even that. Like maybe 2, 3. I don't know. Awesome though. Like that dude has me laughing constantly. Good times though. We gotta have more guests on, dude. But you gotta be here for them. We gotta have Phil back.
All right.
Yeah. Phil liked coming on.
Well, that's good.
And he was like, dude, where the fuck's Kyle? I'm like, he's working, dude.
Yeah. I have a job where I travel.
The busy life. He travels too. To people's houses. That's traveling.
Per order. Yeah, I was in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Delivering 70,000 pounds of stainless steel to the police department to secure their events.
Well,
you want to hear something fucked up about my job?
Sure.
So, did you see in the news that festival in Vancouver, Canada, where the car ran through it and killed like 11 people?
No, you told me about this last time. Man.
So there was a festival.
I don't care about Canada.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I do.
So
Love you, Canada.
So in the city of Vancouver, they had this festival, and they decided to not put up any kind of like barriers around the event. Car drove through and killed like 11 people.
Mm-hmm.
They're a customer of ours.
Yeah.
They just bought, and their stuff is actually getting delivered in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
And so we had to send up a whole bunch of stuff because they just had a marathon. Right. And now we're we just partnered with a steel company or a steel plant in Canada. So now our company is going to be all of our clients in America have American made steel from American companies, and all our Canadian clients will have Canadian steel made from a Canadian steel factory.
And we'll have awards to see which one's better.
No, but it's just sad that tragedy has to happen for places to open up their eyes for safety. You know.
Yeah, it's like that Bill Burr joke. You know how he's like a psycho, and he's like, "Oh, you can be driving down the street, and you'd be like, oh, inconsequential life,' and then, oh, he ran over 11 people. He's in the news.
Yeah.
7 o'clock news, whatever. It's like just going about my daily life, and then you turn it to 10 o'clock. And it's like, oh my god, there's so much carnage.
Yeah, dude, it's sad. And I have to, I have to deal with people who say, well, it would never happen here. And I'm like, well, it happened in New Orleans, it happened in Little Rock, Arkansas,
No.
it happened in Highland Park, Illinois, it happened in Vancouver, British Columbia. It's happened here, it's happened here, it's happened here, it's happened here.
That's the thing about tragedy. Nobody thinks it'll happen to them until it happens.
Yep.
And then all you have to do after that is feel sorry for yourself.
Yeah. And then when I tell them how much something is, and they're like, well, we can't afford it. I'm like, well, you say you can't afford it, but can you afford having 13 people die?
Yeah.
And going in front of somebody, of all those people who died and their family and their friends, and being like, we could have done this, but we didn't.
Chose not to. Yeah.
Yeah. And I hate, that's the only part of the business I hate.
Yeah.
Is that we have to have a tragedy happen for people to open their eyes.
Yeah.
Instead of being preemptive and avoiding a tragedy from happening, they have to have a tragedy happen in order for their eyes to be open.
Well, that's the thing. Like with us, with my line of work, like everybody overlooks safety every once in a while. Shortcuts and whatnot. But one thing that stuck with me was one time. It took one time, maybe 2 times I heard it, but they were like, the M. Shaw book is written in blood.
Mm-hmm.
And not literally, it's not the Necronomicon from fucking Ash and the Evil Dead. It's just something had to happen for those rules to be put in place.
Exactly. Rules are in place because something got fucked up.
Right. It's either because of ignorance, it's either because of pride or greed, whatever you want to call it. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody maybe wanted to pinch pennies, or because ignorance, basically. That mostly narrows down to those two. So, until those things get settled, shit's gonna keep happening. So, that's what they say. That shit's written in blood to remember those people that died for that, basically.
Yep. Well, whenever there's a rule or a policy in place, it's because somebody fucking did something stupid.
Well, it's like the Second Amendment. People overlook it because they're like, oh, well, nobody's going to fuck it. And it was like, until it does.
Well, yeah. And everybody takes it, a lot of people take it out of context.
Like, here's one things I remember. Do you remember the movie with, it was Joe Pesci was a bum in like Harvard or whatever with Brendan Fraser, I think. It wasn't like Higher Education or something. But he talks about the Constitution and how it had these like all these loopholes that they left open and like the amendments and all that shit that could be fixed, but he's like there are certain things that can't be changed because they're there to avoid like tyranny and all that shit. Because like they don't want what happens when you have like monarchs and shit in like Europe or whatnot to happen here.
Exactly.
And it's not the same as like, oh, well, kind of is, but it kind of isn't. Like they're written in blood, dude.
Well, yeah. The Second Amendment is the point of the ability for your citizens to be able to have firearms in the event that the government tries to control you. Mm-hmm. And then you stand up to fight against the government, which was happening in a certain way. No, I'm talking about like when people were trying to get rid of the Second Amendment a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
with
with the 2020
with taking over Twitter and taking over this, and we want to take over this.
Yeah, they wanted to abolish freedom of speech and all that.
Those things were in place so that we could be like, no.
Yeah.
And then when we were talking about like, oh, the ATF is going to come to your house and do this, it's like, no, they're not. They're not going to do that. And if they try to do that, that's not going to happen.
Right.
And those are the things that are instilled 200 years ago.
It would have been close. What is it?
300?
275 probably next year.
Yeah.
250.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to think about it, like they understood that there's a time when the government is going to try to do it.
All right, I gotta do the math. Dude.
So 2025 minus 1770.
Got a faster way of doing that. 2025 minus. Oh no, that's a plus. Minus 1776. 249. So next year will be the 250th anniversary of the United States.
Yep, and we're a young country, man. But it's things that are instilled, and people are just.
Well, you're Chickawa, or what is it? Chickawa?
Choctaw.
Choctaw?
Yeah.
So your people that.
My family did the Trail of Tears. Yes, they did. Some of them did.
Yeah.
Not all. But in the sense of, you know, what our Constitution holds and is about is to avoid those kind of things from happening again.
Yeah. Right on.
You know, and there's just too many people who are brainwashed into so many other things that they forget to see what's right in front of them.
I think there's a lot of common sense missing in like newer generations.
Oh yeah.
Common sense is a dying concept.
Mm-hmm.
Like the inner monologue thing. Did we talk about that?
Yep.
That was fucking wild. I was like, I didn't know there's people that don't have it.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. And I've asked people, I'm like, do you have it? I've asked a couple of people, like, yeah. Like, that's crazy that there's people that don't have that. Because I'm like, before I talk, like, even talking to you, I'm like, there's things that in my mind are going like 100 miles an hour. I'm like, I got to talk about this. I got to talk about that. You know, and I want to come back to this and I want to go up to that. Whereas those people are just like, whoa. It's like, that's wild, dude. It's wild. The gray is a tricky subject, dude.
Yeah. I lived in the gray for a long period of time, man. I had to deal with the good, the bad, and the ugly, and have to deal with all of it. Just to be able to make my life just...
I call that not getting hung up on shit. Basically not giving a fuck, but you gotta pick your battles.
Well, and you gotta stick to what you know and what you believe in, and...
But yeah, you gotta stand up for your like morals or your beliefs and all that stuff, which is, you know, that should go without saying, because otherwise you're a fucking pushover. But you gotta pick and choose your battles. Otherwise, you're gonna be arguing with, you know, like being married. You're not gonna win every battle. You're gonna lose probably like 85 to 90% of them, because at some point you're just like, okay, this isn't worth it. Like, this is more energy depleting than just saying yes.
Yeah.
Because having that argument is going to drain you more than having to do the activity or doing whatever you have to do that they're asking you to do, or, you know, whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes just like,
I need to take a time out for a second.
Bring it back.
So much better now.
Yes. A little relief does the body good.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. So, common sense is dying. And, yeah. I feel like we took a downward turn so hard.
Yeah, I know. We went from talking about
this is supposed to be a beer podcast.
Getting your wife
Yay.
drunk to talking about the Second Amendment and how people are fucking stupid.
That was a big gap there, though.
All right, let's end this on a happy note.
David Spade's got a new stand-up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just watched The Wrong Missy again the other night.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was trying to fall asleep. I'm like, I'll put this on and just have something good in the background.
Yeah. Dude, I saw fucking Seven Souls, or Six Souls, sorry. It's so dark. So dark. The ending's so dark.
Hmm.
And Talia was like, at the end, she was like, what happened? What I miss? And I'm like, I thought we were watching the movie together, but okay, let me break it down for you. Pause. And I tell her the whole thing, and she's like, oh my god, I wish I would have watched that. And I'm like, yeah, me too. So I wouldn't have to explain it. She does that all the time, though. I'm like, are you going to watch this? And then she's like, yes, I'm watching this. I'm like, no, you're not. She's like, well, I'm listening to it. I'm like,
But you're not paying attention
yeah.
to it.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, come on.
I don't know. Colleen's the same way where she'll look like, what happened? I'm like, never mind.
So here's the thing. I can be like this, and if I'm listening and paying attention, I can multitask. I know that they say it's impossible because you're like, you're here or you're there.
But here's my thing. If I'm watching something, I'm just going to just...
Well, no. Here's the thing. I can answer a text. Like, if you're texting me, like, hey, dude, what's going on? And I'm listening. I'll listen.
Yeah.
And then I'll, like, all right, I'm done. And then I'll process it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm caught up.
Yeah.
That's the way my brain works.
Yeah. But I just like if I'm watching something and I want to watch something,
yeah,
I'm just going to focus
yeah, you
on
want to
that.
get caught up.
Like, I'm just going to be like, nah, I'll just deal with that later.
So here's the thing. Like, when I watch something and I'm really interested in it, I want to get lost in it. Like, I'm the main character.
Yeah.
Like, not me personally, but I'm like that Six Souls movie. Okay, I'm Julianne Moore in that movie. Like, I'm there. You know?
You want to be in Julianne Moore in that movie.
Not right now, but like 10 years ago, yeah. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like, you know, you want to be the character. That's the purpose of watching it.
Yeah.
You know, you're seeing it through their perspective. That's the ideal thing where you're watching a movie. It's like when you're reading a book, you're reading it through their perspective. You're that person.
Yeah.
Like, it says, I walked into the barn and I saw this. And it's not like Jacob walked into the barn. If it is, then it's like, well, you're taking me out of it. But if you're like, I did this, it's like, oh shit, dude, I'm there. You know? So take notes, writers. Not that I have a degree or in writing or anything.
You don't?
I do not. No.
Oh.
So I know how to write. I write my name every day.
And then you use Chat GPT for everything else.
Yes. Dude, I don't think I would have graduated from university without fucking Google or YouTube. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Forums
Man.
and all that. You learn a lot, dude. There's like so much help out there. It's basically the version of you're not going to walk around with a calculator in your pocket all day.
Man, I don't know. I did it all myself.
The thing is, like, you know how to do shit. I feel like a lot of what I've learned sticks with me for the basic stuff. Like, I'm not saying if there's a fucking apocalypse like The Last of Us, I'm not gonna be like the guy that's restart civilization or anything. But I'll be like, I might be able to make it on my own. But if I get with a crew that knows how to do shit, you put brains together. You know, you make a little town like Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, I bring this to the table. Okay, you know how to do this. You bring this to the table. Okay, you know how to do. And you start. You know, but I'm like, fuck, I got no signal. I got no bars, bro. I don't know how to start a fire again. Oh, just take the battery out and make it explode.
Yeah.
How many batteries do I need if I want to live forever? But, you know, anyway, dude, you got to get on The Last of Us. 4 episodes are out. You got to jump on that shit.
Well, now that we have 4, we'll watch it. So we just can't do the 1 and then wait.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, I download it and I watch it Monday. Mondays usually.
Yeah. We'll watch, whenever she comes back, we'll watch everything that just came out.
You know what I want to get on, like, before we end this, I want to get on Blacklist.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch that. I want to go watch Sons of Anarchy.
You never watched that?
No.
Really?
No. It was like the Breaking Bad thing for me.
I watched it. The thing that got me is that, like, so many, Like even Colleen was one of them that were just like, oh, I'm like, they're pieces of shit. Like
Yeah,
ultimately,
essentially, yeah.
you know. And I even asked her because
They're biker gang.
we know people who are in clubs,
Yeah,
motorcycle clubs,
yeah.
and I asked her, I'm like, so you want to have a cut that says you're the property of somebody? She's like, well, no. I'm like, so then why are you fucking all about it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, isn't it kind of fucking degrading?
Yeah.
I'm like,
They're basically like fucking primates of.
well, not I think the property part
All right, not
is a little
primates,
weird.
but like they're a few. They're like our club is like we're starting basically a small civilization of what's already is.
Yeah,
But
I always thought it was funny when I would see that stuff of like, I'm like, well, I'm gonna get you a cut that says you're the property of me. She's like, no. I'm like, well, you know, if you're all about it, then you technically are.
yeah,
She's like, no, fuck that. I'm like, well, there you go.
I got a little paper that says different.
Yeah, I'm like, I have a legal document that says you are.
I love it when
What you gonna
people.
do about that?
Yeah, I love it when they say, "I want a traditional husband." I'm like, really? You want to have dinner on the table? Otherwise, you get your fucking teeth knocked in.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's what you're really asking for.
I go outside and I
That's
find a
simple.
stick that's smaller than the width of my thumb,
Yeah,
and I can just come beat you.
yeah. Say, I don't think you know what you're asking for. I'm like, you literally can't have your cake and eat it.
Yeah.
But anyway, before it gets dark again, let's do a shot. Let's end this shit. It's time.
All right. What are you doing Friday?
I am working.
Well, I mean, after work.
I don't know.
What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Jalapeno?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, do we have that pear one?
I was just.
We should have some of that pear whiskey pear one.
Well, I pulled this out, so.
Oh, all right. I guess fuck me, right?
What's this? All right. Here, we'll do whiskey sour.
Yeah, whiskey sour. I feel like whiskey sour might go good with this.
Yeah, we can finish that up.
I don't know. We might have a little bit left over, but yeah, we'll try.
No, I think this will be enough for us.
All right. Hit me up, brother. Yeah, dude. That mentality of like, I wish it was like back in the old days. I'm like, I don't know if you really want that, dude. I don't think you know what you're asking for.
Yeah. When the husband came home, if shit wasn't done, he just started beating her.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you really want that? She's like, well, fuck that. I'm like, nope, that's how it was.
Yeah.
If that's how you want it to be, that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Hey, babe, how's it going? Where's dinner?
It's like you didn't live through it, so you don't really know how the times were. They just seemed like they were better because, because there was enforcement.
Well, and things were simpler.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't sitting there fucking scrolling through TikToks all night.
Well, I didn't get the laundry done because I was on TikTok.
What, bitch?
It was like fucking Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
room.
Shows up like she just got a fatality. What happened? Ah, the dryer was broken.
You know you could hang the shit outside, right? It's raining.
Get over here.
All right, brother. Cheers.
Cheers.
And, check out the TikTok, the Facebook, the Instagram, and the Twitter.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
Cheers.
So good. Let's stop all three. I wonder if they all recorded.
I think this one died.
This one died. No, it didn't die. I saw it blacked out. Oh, it might have just died.
Yeah.
and